itself. In other news now, amid fears of extremely high level of violent protests, the Brampton Triveni Community Centre has cancelled a life certificate event scheduled to take place on November the 17th. A temple in Canada's Brampton has cancelled an Indian consulate event after the police cited significant security threats amid the ongoing protests and tensions that erupted following a pro-Khalistani attack, as it were, on Hindu devotees in the area. So this, of course, has been a huge concern for the police there as well. Though, of course, the police has appealed for escalations to come down immediately. But there was this dramatic attack on Hindu devotees in the Brampton Temple. The Brampton Temple is very popular among Hindus in Canada. Of course, it's a significant chunk of the population there. But let me go across to my colleague, Mohammad Ghazali. Ghazali, so that event has been cancelled now. What is the situation as far as Brampton is concerned as we speak?
See, the Sikhs for Justice founder Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has basically issued these threats against the Hindu MP Chandan Arya, and then he also had issued threats that perhaps on November 16th and 17th he will also target Indian diplomats at the temples where these camps were scheduled to be organized in Brampton, and that is the reason why these temple authorities were informed by the police that perhaps they will not be able to provide adequate security, and hence these events have been cancelled. Cancelled in the sense that it has been postponed. Indian authorities have time and again requested, the Indian High Commission there in Canada has requested their counterparts to provide adequate security, but perhaps the Canadian police has not been able to do so. And this was aired last week when the MEA spokesperson also clarified that we had requested for security, but Canadian authorities have not been able to do so. And the reason being that this Sikh for Justice founder Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has been issuing threats, and that is why this event has been cancelled. But the larger picture, Vedant, is that it is going to impact the Indian community there, because at the end of the year, all the pension holders, the NRI citizens or the Indian citizens there who have to avail the pension services from their banks back in India, it happens usually that the Indian High Commission organizes these camps where they furnish the documents, and then High Commission ensures that people don't have to travel back to India to avail those services or to ensure that those services are uninterrupted. But with these threats, this is a new kind of emerging threat which is now going to impact the Indian community directly. Earlier, they used to threaten the Indian diplomats, they used to protest outside the Indian High Commission, but what happened last week or a couple of weeks earlier, that they started protesting outside the temples in order to threaten the diplomats, but it ended up roughing up the devotees outside the Hindu temple. Those who were protesting claimed that they didn't attack the Hindu temple, but the visuals certainly show that devotees coming out of the temple where they tried to flee from the situation, and the situation is very tense over there, because even if the police had to say that they can't provide security, then you can imagine the kind of scenario which is developing there, or the kind of situation, law and order situation, which is developing there.
All right, Ghazali, thanks very much for joining us with that very comprehensive update. As Ghazali is reporting, well, it escalated into something bigger, something that was not anticipated, and given the fact that even the police is not able to, in a sense, bring down the hostilities, the escalation there goes to show how tense the situation is. But moving now to Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh, well, dramatic visuals coming in. This is the students have now taken to streets. Well, these are basically civil services aspirants of PCS, which is essentially is the provincial civil services examination. Now, the entire contention here is that the aspirants want the examination to be held in a single shift. Earlier, of course, the authorities had announced that it will be held in 2 shifts. Interestingly, this has become political as well amid crucial by-polls and, of course, the assembly polls in 2026 as well. Of course, Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav had extended support to the aspirants as well. Let me go across to my colleague Ranveer Singh joining us on the phone line. So, Ranveer, the aspirants demanding the examination to be held in a single shift, is this likely to become a political issue there as well?
Yeah, obviously, thousands of students are sitting on staging dharna at PCS office in Prayagraj, and they are demanding the examination to be conducted in a same day, in a single shift, and there should be no equalization, no normalization. So the students are in Prayagraj, they are staging a dharna, they are demanding their demands to be fulfilled by the Public Service Commission in Uttar Pradesh. The UPPSC preliminary examination is to be conducted on 7th and 8th December, while RO and ARO examination to be held on 22nd and 23rd December. So the students are demanding that there should be no shift and the exam should be conducted in a single day. And as far as politics is concerned, Keshav Prasad Maurya, the Deputy CM in Uttar Pradesh, he has requested the officials to listen to the aspirants and fulfill their demand as far as possible. While the opposition leaders, Akhilesh Yadav and Mayawati, hit out at government over this protest. Akhilesh Yadav said, Yogi Banam Pratyogi. It means CM versus aspirants. And while Mayawati has said that the Public Service Commission has deficient in arrangements, and that's why they are conducting the examination in 2 days. So that's why this protest has become a political issue in Uttar Pradesh, and the students are sitting on protest since last 24 hours, and the protest is continuous today also.
All right, Ranveer, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. As Ranveer is reporting, both Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav, they're upping the ante as far as the PCS examination is concerned. This has been a contentious issue in a city like Prayagraj for years now, but thousands of aspirants taken to the streets there. With that, we'll take a short break now, but come back for more on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
It's a web of frauds, calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. How to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con. Only on NDTV 24/7.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
कैसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
Now, a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations? Non-stop coverage on NDTV. Top analysts and voices from the ground. Extensive coverage on NDTV.
We reached an agreement on patrolling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the patrolling which we were doing in 2020.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ
Welcome back. News from poll-bound Jharkhand. Well, ED raids taking place both in Jharkhand and West Bengal, and this is reportedly in connection to the entire infiltration row. Of course, the cross-border infiltration that has become a huge political issue as well, but this has been a contentious issue in Jharkhand and West Bengal for decades now, and this is interesting given the fact that we just had Home Minister Amit Shah hit out at the JMM government there, saying that they shelter infiltrators, and Hemant Soren in fact had also sharply responded, saying that the centre is protecting Sheikh Hasina, on the one hand, and then crying about Bangladeshi infiltration. So that had become a huge poll issue as well. Nonetheless, these Enforcement Directorate raids taking place at multiple locations in West Bengal and Jharkhand. In fact, the JMM has hit out at the BJP government yet again. Take a look.
ED raids are continuing in two states, that is West Bengal and Jharkhand, and 7 locations in Jharkhand are being raided as we speak, and those are the locations where the ED claims the agencies involved in actually helping the illegal immigrants, especially the illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, settle in Jharkhand. So there were agencies, there were companies who were involved in it, who were actually securing forged documents for those illegal immigrants and helping them actually sneak into Jharkhand, settle here with so-called legitimate documents which they were procuring for them. So those are the agencies which are being raided as we speak. And remember, the tone for this had been set by Amit Shah when he was in Ranchi around 10 days back and releasing the BJP's manifesto called Sankalp Patra, and then he had talked about how the illegal immigrants are being helped to settle in Jharkhand with the help of the JMM and the Congress government. That's the reason why the JMM is calling it a political vendetta, because JMM believes that this kind of attack is actually would harm their interest and would kind of go against their perception. BJP has been alleging that JMM is helping out the illegal immigrants settle in Jharkhand and treating them as a vote bank. BJP also in its manifesto has said that if it is voted back to power, they would screen them out and they would throw them out of Jharkhand. And these sentiments were echoed by Prime Minister himself. And as he spoke 2 days back in Jharkhand, today we are seeing the Central Agency ED in action on the ground now.
And moving now to something that has been a big focus for us on NDTV for decades now, the air pollution crisis. And of course, this is, it's not just a Delhi problem, it's a pan-India problem certainly, particularly as far as Mumbai is concerned. Several cities of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar also extremely polluted. In fact, I'm looking at government data right now, and there are at least 4 to 5 cities in Uttar Pradesh where the air quality is in the very poor category. So that gives you a sense of the level of the emergency, which is why we need round-the-year attention, something that we've been emphasizing year after year. Talking about pollution only in the peak season will not help. We need to target pollution at the source level. Now, as far as Delhi is concerned, the air quality is in the very poor category. The average air quality is in the very poor category. In fact, AQI is in the severe category and in several parts in the upper levels of the severe category as well, and that is extremely concerning. The PM 2.5 is almost 80 times the safe limit set by the World Health Organization. This essentially means that exposure to this air for a long time can lead to several respiratory illnesses, even cancer. So a big word of caution for our viewers out there: if you do venture out, carry an N95 mask. That is the only mask that helps as per doctors. Now, as far as Mumbai is concerned, the air quality is in the poor category, that is the average AQI. In several parts of Maharashtra, the outskirts of Mumbai, the AQI is in the severe category as well. My colleague Shreya and Anuj have sent us these reports from Mumbai and Delhi.
Standing at the entry point of the Bandra-Worli sea link, and my camera person is zooming in the Worli region of the city, and this is a gateway to the southern part of the city, considered to be relatively cleaner when it comes to air quality. But you can see that the smog which usually engulfed the city and has been doing it for the last 1.5 months in the early hours of the morning, and then situation eventually gets better as we inch closer to the noon, does not seem to be happening in the last few days. Although, speaking about numbers, relatively the air quality has improved a little bit, because the air quality index, on that particular parameter, Mumbai stood at 150, 152 in the morning, which falls in the category of moderate, moderate quality. But then the pollutants in the air are spreading across the city, and we are seeing that earlier what was the case is not the case now. When I say that, I mean that, earlier we would see that regions like Andheri, regions like Bandra, Kandivali, Kolaba, all of these were the pockets which would experience way worse air quality as compared to the several other regions. But what we're experiencing in the last couple of days is that the air quality across the city is coming down, and that is going to be a challenge in front of the authorities. This, especially happening during the poll season, is another challenge in front of the BMC, because all the guidelines which were introduced by the BMC to counter the rising air pollution in the city in the last 12 months will be tested now, because the majority of the BMC volunteers are busy with the poll work. We saw how the BMC is very, is very importantly looking at the elections. They're looking at increasing the voter turnout in certain pockets of the city, and that is where the majority of their attention will be. But at the same time, we are seeing that they are trying to, have sprinklers in different parts of the city, just so that air quality can become a little better than what was the case a few months ago. But, it is showing little to less results, at least as of now, and the situation is expected to become slightly worse as we approach December.
Well, the Delhi's air quality continues to plummet, turning this fight for clean air into a full-blown public health crisis. We have not seen a single good air day in this entire year, and ever since Diwali, the AQI has been consistently in the very poor category. Today as well, the AQI is hovering somewhere around 335, which is of course in the very poor to severe category, and some of the densely populated areas like Jahangirpuri, Anand Vihar, Rohini has recorded over 400 AQI, which is extremely extremely hazardous for people's health. It can cause severe breathing and respiratory issues, which can later, of course, develop into serious ailments like COPD, and vulnerable people like the senior citizens, pregnant women and young children are more susceptible to developing pollution-related illnesses. And right now, let me tell you that I am in Noida, and we know that Noida, Greater Noida areas have recorded slightly better AQI than Delhi, but it still reels under poor air quality. And recently we have seen this anti-smog tower, which is the single and largest anti-smog tower in Noida that was installed back in 2021, has been removed, and it has left the residents and environmentalists questioning the whole effectiveness of this particular anti-smog gun and the transparency about its future, because it has been abruptly removed, overlooking the potential effect on the residents here, the potential effects of the pollution on the residents, because of course the anti-smog tower was installed to curb the pollution levels and provide cleaner air for people to breathe. But if we talk about Delhi, we know that yesterday the Supreme Court has lashed out at the Delhi government and asked the Delhi government to give a permanent solution to this increasing pollution levels and the ineffectiveness of this cracker ban. By November 25th, the Delhi government has to give a permanent solution to the court, and other than that, we know the main culprits of this pollution is vehicular emission, for which the Commission for Air Quality Management has urged MCD officials to increase parking fee to enforce that all the cars have pollution under control norms, and they are also stop the end of life vehicles, which are old vehicles. So these kind of small reactive measures have been taken to curb vehicular pollution, which is the largest contribution to air pollution in the national capital. With camera person Arun Negi, this is Shreya for NDTV Delhi.
All right, so breaking news coming in. Well, the Supreme Court has extended the interim anticipatory bail for actor Siddique. Remember, actor Siddique has been accused of raping a young actor. This was among the first cases that emerged in the entire Bollywood Me Too movement. And now the Supreme Court extending the anticipatory interim bail. Let me go across to our senior colleague Sunil Prabhu joining us on the phone line. So, Sunil, this is perhaps the second time that the Supreme Court has extended the anticipatory bail for actor Siddique. In fact, I'm looking at his affidavit. He essentially says that the Kerala police is cooking up stories and that I'm no powerful member of the Malayalam film industry.
Yeah, that's right. And it's in that context that the Supreme Court, has extended that interim application. The counsel for Mr. Siddique was the senior advocate Mukul Rohtgi, who said that they're asking for his laptop and phone post 2006, and that's not possible at this stage. So, how can you ask for somebody to give that? And it's in that context, I'm not joining issue on that, but we'll look at it, and it's extended the bail, and we'll have to wait and see how things proceed after that.
All right, Sunisa, thanks very much for joining us for that quick update there. As Sunisa has reported, this is the second time, remember, that the Supreme Court has extended the anticipatory bail. In his affidavit, in fact, actor Siddique has also said that I have done roles only as a supporting actor and that I am no powerful member of any sort of lobby as far as the Malayalam film industry is concerned. But remember, there were absolutely horrific allegations against him. He is accused of raping a young actor. In fact, many actors, junior artists, all had come on record to talk in sordid detail about what they went through. But moving now to news from Andhra Pradesh. Well, prominent filmmaker Ram Gopal Varma has been booked. A case has been registered against director Ram Gopal Varma. This is the Andhra police have filed a case after a TDP leader filed a complaint. Remember, the TDP alleges that various morphed pictures of the chief minister were posted by the filmmaker on his social media account. Earlier we spoke to Uma for more.
So filmmaker Ram Gopal Varma has been known to be a long-time critic of Chandrababu Naidu and his family members as well. And he had in fact made a film called Vyuham, just before the elections and released it just before the simultaneous elections to both Assembly and Parliament in Andhra Pradesh, in which he had kind of mocked, criticized, or should I say made caricatures of Chandrababu Naidu, his son Lokesh, his daughter-in-law Brahmini. All of them were featuring in that particular film, or rather it seemed like they were being featured in that film and being made fun of. And you know, over a period of time, he has always been a critic of Chandrababu Naidu and been seen, in fact, as a supporter of the YSRCP. And in the earlier, he had also made Lakshmi's NTR about Lakshmi Parvati, who was the wife of was wife of N.T. Ramarao. And at that time, the 1995 coup, all of that he had picturized in a film, and it was showing Mr. Chandrababu Naidu in a negative light. The present FIR now has fueled speculation whether he would be arrested, but this must be seen as the larger crackdown that the coalition government in Andhra Pradesh is taking up on social media harassment, cyber stalking, as well as cyber kind of derogatory comments that are made on social media as well. And many YSRCP activists and also some TDP activists have been taken to book for this, and some of the so-called social media influencers who are supporters of YSRCP, including an actress, have in fact put out videos publicly apologizing for the content that they had put out earlier and saying that they had done it on the directions of the political leadership of that time. And therefore, the kind of crackdown that is happening on social media in Andhra Pradesh, also taking in someone like Ram Gopal Verma. There are other people as well who are seen as celebrities, Sri Reddy and others, who may also face similar action from the government, from the law enforcement agencies, because the case has been booked under the IT Act. Back to you.
News now from Canada. Well, amid fears of an extremely intense protest, the Temple Committee in Brampton, in fact, has decided to call off a key consular event in Brampton at that temple, which is extremely popular among Hindu devotees. Remember, this comes close to the heels of various Hindu devotees being attacked by pro-Khalistani groups. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali has more on this.
See, the Sikhs for Justice founder Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has basically issued these threats against the Hindu MP Chandan Arya, and then he also had issued threats that perhaps on November 16th and 17th he will also target Indian diplomats at the temples where these camps were scheduled to be organized in Brampton. And that is the reason why these temple authorities were informed by the police that perhaps they will not be able to provide adequate security, and hence these events have been cancelled. Cancelled in the sense that it has been postponed. Indian authorities have time and again requested, the Indian High Commission there in Canada has requested their counterparts to provide adequate security, but perhaps the Canadian police has not been able to do so. And this was aired last week when the MEA spokesperson also clarified that we had requested for security, but Canadian authorities have not been able to do so. And the reason being that this Sikh for Justice founder Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has been issuing threats, and that is why this event has been cancelled. But the larger picture, Vedant, is that it is going to impact the Indian community there, because at the end of the year, all the pension holders, the NRI citizens or the Indian citizens there who have to avail the pension services from their banks back in India, it happens usually that the Indian High Commission organizes these camps where they furnish the documents, and then High Commission ensures that people don't have to travel back to India to avail those services or to ensure that those services are uninterrupted. But with these threats, this is a new kind of emerging threat which is now going to impact the Indian community directly.
So pretty concerning there. The security forces also on high alert. But finally, we'll leave you with these lovely visuals from Jammu and Kashmir. Well, from the upper reaches of Gandarbal and also Sonmarg, the Kashmir received light snowfall. In fact, there was heavy snowfall in some parts, certainly, particularly the Srinagar-Leh road, which received light rainfall. Also, a layer of fresh snow accumulated around the Zojila Pass as well. The vehicular traffic continues to be normal. Right now, this snowfall is perhaps light enough, but it becomes extremely intense as December approaches.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
A Maha-political slugfest over the Election Commission's luggage checking spree. Well, the Uddhav Sena says that their bags were checked ahead of the poll rally. ED raids in Bengal and Jharkhand over cross-border infiltration. This, as this becomes a political slugfest, the JMM hits out at the BJP. In the Shah Rukh Khan threat case, a key suspect has been arrested from Raipur. The Brampton Temple Committee cancels a consular event after police cites concerns of a high-level protest.
It's a web of frauds, calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. How to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con. Only on NDTV 24/7.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
Now, a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations? Non-stop coverage on NDTV. Top analysts and voices from the ground. Extensive coverage on NDTV.
We reached an agreement on patrolling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the patrolling which we were doing in 2020.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future. It's a
The Mumbai police make the first arrest in the SRK threat case. A suspect has been arrested from Raipur. Anti-corruption raids in Karnataka ahead of crucial by-polls. The Lokayukta raids are taking place in 40 locations in the state, also in Mysuru, ahead of the Chief Minister's visit. A Maha-political slugfest over the Election Commission's luggage checking. Well, luggage checked before poll rally, claims the UBT Sena. The Thackeray Sena says, is the Election Commission checking the Chief Minister's luggage as well? Shiv Sena says, baseless allegations by the NPA. Amid fears of an extremely high level of violent protest, the Brampton Triveni Mandir and Community Centre has cancelled a key consular event. Good afternoon, welcome. You're watching NDTV. I am Vedanta Agarwal. Our lead story. Well, in the SRK threat case, a key arrest has been made from Raipur, where the Mumbai police have arrested a key suspect from Raipur. Remember, the Mumbai police had earlier received a threat against actor Shah Rukh Khan, and this comes close on the heels of course, various death threats against actor Salman Khan as well. So the Mumbai police certainly on high alert as far as Bollywood celebrities are concerned. So far, no real information on who this particular suspect is. The police, of course, in the Salman Khan threat case have established a very strong link to the Bishnoi gang, and that is something that is on the radar as far as the police are concerned. Anmol Bishnoi, of course, his extradition has also begun. So parallel developments taking place as far as this investigation is concerned, but the entire dark underbelly of the underworld has been sort of exposed yet again with Bollywood celebrities on the security radar. My colleague Radhika Ramaswamy has more on this.
As of now, That's not established. The man has been arrested, Faizan Khan, from Raipur in Chhattisgarh. Bandra police teams were deployed there. He was arrested early this morning. He was questioned. In fact, he had said that he is not responsible for this and his phone was stolen and it was not him that had issued that threat to Shah Rukh Khan. But all this is a matter of investigation as to whether it was somebody else on his behalf who did it, what really motivated or drove him to issue such a threat to Shah Rukh Khan. Of course, we know for a fact that this was received by Bandra police a couple of days back, in which the caller threatened to kill Shah Rukh Khan and said he needs a ransom of rupees 50 lakhs. So what really drove him to do this, whether he's part of any gang, Lawrence Bishnoi gang, or was it just mischief being played in order to gain attention? All that is a matter of investigation. This man will be produced before a court in Chhattisgarh, after which, of course, transit remand will be sought, and then he will be brought to Bandra for further questioning. We know for a fact that multiple people had been arrested in connection to several threats being received by Salman Khan in the recent past. At least 4 threats had been received by Mumbai Police Traffic Control Room. In connection to Salman Khan, some asking for 5 crore rupees, some 2 crore rupees. Many were arrested who were, either vegetable vendors, daily wage workers from different parts of the country. Their associations with any gang members have not been proven now, but Mumbai police taking all these threats seriously, especially after Baba Siddiqui murder, and also after the firing outside Salman Khan's residence. So at least 4 threats received by Salman Khan, 1 by Shah Rukh Khan. Now one person who allegedly issued that threat to Shah Rukh Khan has now been arrested from Raipur.
In fact, Sanjay Sahai, former IPS officer, is also joining us on the broadcast this afternoon. Thanks very much, Mr. Sahai, for being with us. My first question to you, as we've discussed at great length in the past 1 month, this sort of Bollywood underworld nexus rivalry, this is back in focus yet again. The past few years have been pretty muted on that front. But Bollywood celebrity is back on the security radar. Is the Mumbai police well equipped to deal with threats of this nature?
Mumbai police is well equipped to deal with threats of this nature. The added caveat which I would like to add is, what is the nature of intelligence which they are gathering? Because things would have drastically changed over the last 15, 20 years. I think 22 years back, somewhere around 2002-3 was the last killing which happened. And I think very faint incidents have also taken place in 2011-12. But for last 12 years, Bombay has literally been quiet as far as the underworld and this connection is concerned. And in this particular period of time, 10, 12 years, things have drastically changed. With the reason that there's huge amount of technology which has come in and the capability of these underworld gangsters and the mafia dons to connect to each other and plan, I think it has moved exponentially. And that is what we are seeing in the case of Lawrence Bishnoi gang. And the added fear or the scare which one has, that while the person is in judicial custody, the criminal is in judicial custody, still lots of criminal activities take place. Now, coming to this particular thing with Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, I think 4 threats, as your correspondent was talking about, and 1 threat to Shah Rukh Khan. I think this threat call to believe that it is happening just as random instances, I don't think that would be the case. And these people who were arrested in Salman Khan case with regards to the threat call, they are all random people, and the connect still does not get to wherever we generally believe it to be. So that is one part of the story. The second, Shah Rukh Khan and the arrest made this morning, I think it has still not thrown anything important or relevant. And this whole story that somebody picked up his phone and he made a call by name of Hindustani and asked for an extortion of 50 lakh rupees. I don't think, as a professional police officer and having spent 32 years in the police, it cuts eyes in any manner whatsoever. The important thing is Bombay police needs to do this particular point in time is to put these threat calls under the same radar, and through variety of technologies and variety of capability and expertise which they have gathered over the years, I think they should be in a position to find out as to where it is emanating for and for what purpose. Till the time motive is decided, I don't think it is of any great value. So what is important is that the motive needs to be decided, and this particular person, Faizan Khan, if I'm not mistaken, who is a lawyer in Raipur.
Exactly.
So this fellow was somewhere, I think he was bothered about the dialogue in some movie with regards to this deer killing and deer killing. So that is where it is. So might be there is some very nascent or a nebulous sort of a connect.
That's an
between
important
what
point
this
you're making,
person
Mr.
thinks
Shah. In
and
fact,
what has
something
actually
that you said
transpired.
right at the outset was that Mumbai police perhaps cannot drop the ball on intelligence. That is critical as far as these threats are concerned.
Correct.
In fact, if you look at one thing that is perhaps similar in the pattern of investigation in both the threat cases, is that even in the Salman Khan firing case, there was a suspect that the Mumbai police let go of, and then that person later turned out to be one of the key accused in the case. And similarly with Faizan Khan as well, there was an indication earlier the police had tracked him down but had not arrested. So again, that point about intelligence becomes extremely critical here.
See, two things are there. One is the intelligence component of it, and the second part is how much we are able to intercept communication. Because this communication which is happening in the underworld today, the mafia gangs and all that, primarily most of it is happening at the encrypted level. So our capability to get into that level of communication and also to connect things which are outside of this encrypted communication and connect the physical and that particular thing. So that is very, very important. With the telephone calls, many times it has happened that you don't get the exact transcript or you don't get the conversation of the telephone call.
Sure.
But the number of telephone calls and the duration of the telephone calls and variety of other connects which you can get from social media tools with regarding to pattern, with regarding connections, I think many things can be established.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Mr. Zahai, for joining us.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to hear your perspective. But as Mr. Zahai is pointing out, the Mumbai police over the years has developed that sort of capability to deal with threats of this nature, but extremely concerning their back-to-back threats to top Bollywood superstars. But moving now to the political battle in Telangana. Well, BRS versus Congress is certainly getting personal, something that we've seen in the past 1 month. Well, KTR, the working president of BRS and the son of former Chief Minister of Telangana, KCR, has now alleged that there is corruption in the awarding of tenders as far as Amrut is concerned. Now, what KTR is essentially alleging is that the Chief Minister favoured his own family in, awarding these tenders. So, a big allegation there, but this comes close on the heels of course, KTR's own relative in the dock over the rave party at a farmhouse in Hyderabad as well. But let's quickly listen into what KTR had to say.
I have to point out to one company specifically. This is a company called शोधा कंस्ट्रक्शंस 21-22 में इस कंपनी की नेट प्रॉफिट थी 2.2 करोड़. It's a very small company which has no qualification, no capital of sorts even to execute any kind of work. Now this company belongs to the brother-in-law of Chief Minister Revant Reddy. Now this brother-in-law's name is Srujan Reddy, and this company Shodha Constructions is an unknown entity as far as Telangana is concerned, as far as Andhra is concerned. With a net profit, let me remind you again, of only 2.2 crore. Now magically, as soon as Revant Reddy becomes Chief Minister, this company magically starts getting a lot of attention.
All right, Mr. Syed Asad Abbas, who is joining us on the phone line now. He's a Congress supporter. Mr. Abbas, your response to what KTR has said, these are serious allegations of irregularities in Amrut contracts. Your response to that, given the fact that the KTR essentially has said that the Chief Minister is personally involved in this alleged corruption?
That is absolutely not true. As a matter of fact, Srujan Reddy's team on Thursday served a legal notice to KT Ramarao, accusing him of making false, malicious, politically motivated and vindictive statements against the former. As a matter of fact, they've also sued him for defamation, as he's made it without any basis or substantiation. The fact of the matter, we need to understand that KT Ramarao ji, with all due respect, has also approached the Union Minister ML Khattar Saab. The fact is, of course, it is a free country, it is a democracy, he's welcome to do what he wants. But let me also remind him that he's made a very strong promise that if these are found to be legitimate, he's going to resign. So therefore, he must keep his resignation papers ready. and the Congress is defending this. Shujan Reddy's team has already sued him for defamation, and this is absolutely baseless. The fact of the matter, this company has shown all its revenue, its work, all of that which is found to be legitimate. Shodha Constructions. And as a matter of fact, over the years, it has successfully grown in terms of revenue, net worth, and technical know-how. As a matter of fact, the legal notice served to K.T. Rama Rao has profoundly shown all the discrepancies in his statement. So therefore, I've always believed, Vedang Sahab, that with great power, there is great responsibility and equal accountability. K.T. Rama Rao Sahab, with all due respect, needs to be a lot more responsible than making such grievous allegations.
All right, Mr. Abbas, thanks very much for joining us there. Mr. Abbas saying that these are all baseless allegations, but this certainly opens a can of worms as far as Telangana is concerned. KTR alleging corruption and serious allegations against the Telangana Chief Minister. But moving now to news from Karnataka, well, the anti-corruption body Lokayukta, which essentially is a corruption watchdog, is conducting raids in several locations in Karnataka, including, of course, Mysuru, also crucial locations like Belagavi. Remember, this comes right ahead of the crucial bipoles in Karnataka as well. And interestingly, this comes right ahead of the Chief Minister's visit to Mysuru as well. Though, of course, there is still no clarity on what this particular case is. Though, of course, the Lokayukta is also probing the Muda scam, but that's a separate case entirely. But interesting timing there, certainly. Hours ahead of the Chief Minister's visit to Mysuru, you have Lokayukta, the corruption watchdog, raiding various locations. Also Haveri and Devanagari, these are crucial locations as well. And look at those pictures coming in of the Lokayukta teams. Lokayukta certainly has become more active as far as Karnataka is concerned. A big crackdown on corruption, it seems. 40 locations under scanner in this phase of raids in Karnataka. Let me go across to my colleague Pratibha Raman joining us on the phone line, I believe. Pratibha, one thing that you were reporting earlier was that these raids come just perhaps hours ahead of the Chief Minister's visit to Mysuru as well. Is there any particular case that the anti-corruption watchdog is probing in these raids?
Well, what we hear from sources is that this is related to disproportionate assets case involved with the KIADB, and that is the department, those officials involved with it who are being explored by the Lokayukta officials, and this is in relation to 9 cases that have been registered against these officials. And many of their residences are in Belagavi, Mysore, as well as the regions of Bellary and Bidar. And these are the places where we have the elections, the bipoles that are being conducted in Karnataka, and that is why this assumes significance. However, whether there's any relation to any of the previous cases or not is yet to be revealed by the Lokayukta officials. And what we know for sure is that this has nothing to do with the Chief Minister's case, which is also being investigated by the Lokayukta officials. Yes, this comes hours before Chief Minister's entry into Mysuru, but remember, Chief Minister's entry there is in relation to the election or the impending election there, and also Mysuru happens to be his backyard. And with respect to further details in regard to the documents that have been collected or the evidences and the case details would be revealed once there's more progress with respect to these raids. Back to you.
All right, Pratibha, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. As Pratibha is reporting, Mysuru, the Chief Minister's backyard, but this is a disproportionate assets case. Now, that was also a politically contentious case in Karnataka, now being probed by the Lokayukta. Moving now to Uttar Pradesh, well, dramatic visuals coming in from Prayagraj. Thousands of UPPSC aspirants have taken to the streets demanding the examination, the PCS, which is essentially the Provincial Civil Services Examination, to take place in one shift as opposed to 2 shifts, and this has become a politically contentious issue as well. If we go across to my colleague Ranveer joining us live from Lucknow. Okay, Ranveer is live from Prayagraj with us. In fact, he's right in the midst of the protest. Ranveer, go ahead and get us some voices of those aspirants there.
I'm here in Prayagraj and the students, the aspirants, they are demanding 1 day, 1 shift and no normalization. And this is the UPPSC, UP Public Service Commission office, and you can see a huge gathering of students. They are here to demand 1 day, 1 shift and no normalization from the Public Service Commission. And the protest is going on since last 24 hours, and I'm keen to hear from you. क्या मांग है आप लोगों?
मेरी ये मांग है कि खेल के बीच में खेल के नियम नहीं बदले जाएंगे। अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी कहा कि आप विद्यार्थियों को नोटिस जारी करने के बाद उसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं कर सकते। ये बीच में 1 महीने पहले इन्होंने ये नियम लगाया कि हम परीक्षा को 2 शिफ्ट में चालू करेंगे और नॉर्मलाइजेशन का लागू। हम लोगों को बिल्कुल भी ये अंदेशा नहीं था कि ये ऐसा करेंगे, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी ये कह दिया कि ये बिल्कुल बीच में छात्रों को अनदेखा नहीं किया जा सकता। ये इनकी पारदर्शिता और भ्रष्टाचार फैलाने का, ये अपने लोगों को भर्ती करेंगे, अपने रिश्तेदारों को भर्ती करेंगे, 50 लाख 70 लाख रुपए लेके देंगे, नंबर बढ़ाएंगे। हमको पता नहीं चलेगा कि हम कितने क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करके हम पास होंगे, हमको कुछ पता ही नहीं चलेगा।
से क्या आपत्ति है, मैं समझ।
देखिए सर, इसमें क्या होगा कि अभी तक 1 पेपर 1 शिफ्ट हो रहा था, उसके बाद इन्होंने 2 पेपर 2 शिफ्ट हुआ। इनका साफ साफ ये मंशा है कि ये 2 क्रिकेट प्लेग्राउंड बनाना चाहते हैं। एक क्रिकेट प्लेग्राउंड पे ये हम लोगों खिलाएंगे और एक पे इनके बच्चे खेलेंगे। आप समझ रहे होंगे इनडायरेक्टली इनकी यही मंशा है। और दूसरी बात, मेरी सरकार की कार्यप्रणाली पे बिल्कुल दोष नहीं है। आयोग की कार्यप्रणाली का हम लोगों का विरोध है, और अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट का हाल में डिसीजन आया जिसमें अनुच्छेद 14 के थ्रू अप्रत्याशा का सिद्धांत दिया गया है, जिसमें ये स्पष्ट कहा गया है कि कोई भी लड़का जब तक एग्जाम का रिजल्ट ना आए वो अप्रत्याशित परिणाम ना देखे। और अनुच्छेद 16 में लोक नियोजन के थ्रू नौकरी देने का अधिकार है। और ये लोग ये लोग के राधा कृष्ण समिति की अनुशंसा के हिसाब से।
आप बताओ कब तक बैठेगा?
सर, नॉर्मलाइजेशन गलत बात है, हम इसका पुरजोर विरोध कर रहे हैं। मान लीजिए अगर 2 क्वेश्चन आए, एक प्लासी का युद्ध आया, एक प्लासी का युद्ध कब हुआ और बक्सर के युद्ध हुआ, उसमें आप कैसे जज करेंगे कि कौन सा क्वेश्चन कठिन है? तो कैसे होगा? हम लोग आए आज नोटिस लेके जाएंगे, जिस और जवानी चलती है उस और जमाना चलता है। आए हम बारात लेके जाएंगे, नोटिस को साथ लेके। हम इसमें बनने वाले नहीं है।
सर, हमारे देश में जब वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन हो रहा है, टेंट में स्ट्राइक्स बसाई जा रहे संगम में, तो एक साथ हमारे एग्जाम क्यों नहीं हो सकते हैं?
सर, मैं एक इतिहास रहा है कि ट्रांसपेरेंसी नहीं रही। सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट ने अपनी पुरानी जब कॉपी इवैल्यूएट करवाई थी तो उसमें कितनी धांधली हुई थी ये सबको पता है। तो ये अकाउंटेबिलिटी और ट्रांसपेरेंसी के लेक्चर देना बंद कर दे। सिंपल सी डिमांड है कि वन शिफ्ट में एग्जाम होना चाहिए, नॉर्मलाइजेशन नहीं हो। दैट्स इट।
एक बात केवल बोलना है, आप जो भी देख रहे हैं प्लीज माननीय योगी जी, माननीय मोदी जी से प्लीज, आप ये 12,000 छात्र 2 दिन से भूखे बैठे हैं। कोई तो कारण है, कोई तो रीजन है, कोई तो कमियां हैं। आप लोग क्यों दिखता है ये एसपी से हैं, ये बीएसपी से हैं, ये फलाने पार्टी से, ये फलाने कोचिंग से, आप लोग क्यों दिखता है? लेकिन छात्रों का दर्द सुनिए, 1 शिफ्ट 1 एग्जाम करिए प्लीज। निवेदन है आला कमान अधिकारियों और राजनेताओं। सर देखिए, ये कहते हैं संवैधानिक पक्ष और एसओपी की बात करता हूँ, सिंपल सी मैं बात करता हूँ। इस देश में उत्तर प्रदेश बोर्ड के हाई स्कोर और इंटर के 20 लाख बच्चों का एग्जाम 1 शिफ्ट में 1 बार में करवा लेते हो, और छोटे छोटे प्राइवेट विद्यालयों में सेंटर जाते हैं। आप कहते हो शुचिता और पारदर्शिता रहती है, यहाँ पे जो सरकारी विद्यालयों में पारदर्शिता नहीं रहेगी। आप एमपी का इलेक्शन, एमएलए का इलेक्शन एक राज्य में, एक गांव में।
So you can see the anger of the students. They are protesting against the Public Service Commission, and the protest is going on since last 24 hours. And you can see the visuals how the students are angry, and they are saying that they will continue this protest till the Public Service Commission will accept it.
Ranveer, thanks very much for getting us those very strong voices there. A lot of anger and outrage on the ground. This, of course, as students continue to say that we want the exam in 1 shift. So, the 1 shift, 1 day, 1 exam demand there. Of course, Akhilesh Yadav and Mayawati also wading into this row. We'll quickly take a short break now, but news continues on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
कैसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Welcome back. The big political slugfest in Maharashtra over the Election Commission's luggage checking spree. Well, remember, it was yesterday when Uddhav Thackeray had alleged that his bags were checked by poll officials before a poll rally. In fact, this video, perhaps shot by Uddhav Thackeray himself, shows how his luggage was checked in his helicopter. In fact, this has triggered a massive political row as well, with the Uddhav Sena saying that, well, does the Election Commission also check the luggage of the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, basically saying that the Election Commission has a clear bias, acting on the behest of the government. The BJP and the Shinde Sena have categorically denied these allegations. Also, Sanjay Raut saying that the Election Commission must also look at the kind of money that is being pumped in by the BJP across the state.
आप हमारा सामान चेक करिए, लेकिन क्या आप एकनाथ शिंदे, देवेंद्र फडणवीस, अजित पवार, नरेंद्र मोदी, अमित शाह जी, उनके हेलीकॉप्टर्स, उनके कारों का काफिला रुक कर आप उनकी जांच करते हैं क्या? महाराष्ट्र में जिस तरह से पैसे का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चल रहा है, क्या चुनाव आयोग के जो ऑब्जर्वर है उनको ये दिखता नहीं? हमने बार बार उनको बताया क्या हो रहा है का.
So pretty serious allegations being made by Sanjay Raut there, including, of course, the money trail that he is talking about. Earlier, I spoke to Krishna Hegde of the Shinde Sena. Listen to what he had to say.
Sanjay Raut has got a habit of making all these wild allegations without any proof. And in the last Lok Sabha election, Chief Minister Eknath Shindeji's bags were also checked when he was getting down from the helicopter, possibly in Nasik. And not only that, Eknath Shindeji did not make any fuss about it or did not create any uproar like the Uddhav Thackeray camp is doing now. Over that, if you have seen the Election Commission, they have acted swiftly, whether it is near Sangola, whether it is in other places of Maharashtra, and even out of Mumbai in Jharkhand. You have seen that several places where cash has been seized by the Election Commission. And I think the Election Commission is doing a good job. Firstly, instead of appreciating the huge exercise the Election Commission, the officials, the administration, the police and all the departments are doing, they're just making these false allegations. Wherever the Election Commission is doing their work, they're doing, I think, promptly, and they're doing it well, systematically and professionally, and they have no bias whatsoever. Over that, like I told you, even the Chief Minister's bag has been checked. So I don't know why they are creating this kind of fuss all the time. If there is nothing, then what do you have to fear actually?
Uddhav Thackeray upset after election officials checked his luggage, checked his bag in Yavatmal, where he was there to campaign. In fact, he pointed that his bags were checked, whereas several other leaders within the ruling party, their bags have never been checked. He also questioned the EC officials over why Amit Shah's bag or Prime Minister Modi's bag, or for that matter, Chief Minister or Deputy CMs of Maharashtra, their luggage never gets checked. He went on to say that while election officials are doing their duty and responsibility, it is also his duty to question, why they wouldn't check the bags of the people within, the leaders within the BJP or from the ruling Mahayuti. So yes, Uddhav Thackeray, they're upping the ante over the checks that have been done. Of course, this is part of the procedure where the election officials time and again check bags of several of the top leaders to ensure that no gifts or cash is being distributed. But over a period of time, the opposition had been pointing at how bags, luggage, vans, vehicles of many of the top leaders of the ruling party get ignored, never get checked, pointing at how election officials are working under the behest of the BJP. Sanjay Raut also attacking the BJP, attacking the poll officials over it, saying that they would like to have videos of officials checking bags of Prime Minister, Home Minister of the country, as well as of top leaders such as Eknath Shinde, Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. So yes, allegations, counter-allegations, attacks, counter-attacks are going on as far as EC officials checking luggage, bags and vehicles of leaders are concerned.
Moving now to poll-bound Jharkhand. Well, ED raids are being conducted both in Jharkhand and West Bengal, reportedly over cross-border infiltration. Remember, cross-border infiltration has become a huge election issue as well, with Home Minister Amit Shah upping the ante against the JMM government, saying that Hemant Soren has been shielding infiltrators from Bangladesh. Hemant Soren, of course, had hit back, said that, well, once the centre has given protection to Sheikh Hasina, they cannot cry about infiltration. But cross-border infiltration certainly has been a problem in Jharkhand in the past few years, and it has now become a huge poll issue as well. But the ED raids are taking place under the PMLA Act. Earlier we spoke to Prabhakar for more.
ED raids are continuing in two states, that is West Bengal and Jharkhand, and 7 locations in Jharkhand are being raided as we speak, and those are the locations where the ED claims the agencies involved in actually helping the illegal immigrants, especially the illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, settle in Jharkhand. So there were agencies, there were companies who were involved in it, who were actually securing forged documents for those illegal immigrants and helping them actually sneak into Jharkhand, settle here with so-called legitimate documents which they were procuring for them. So those are the agencies which are being raided as we speak. And remember, the tone for this had been set by Amit Shah when he was in Ranchi around 10 days back and releasing the BJP's manifesto called Sankalp Patra, and then he had talked about how the illegal immigrants are being helped to settle in Jharkhand with the help of the JMM and the Congress government. That's the reason why the JMM is calling it a political vendetta, because JMM believes that this kind of attack is actually would harm their interest and would kind of go against their perception. BJP has been alleging that JMM is helping out the illegal immigrants settle in Jharkhand and treating them as a vote bank. BJP also in its manifesto has said that if it is voted back to power, they would screen them out and they would throw them out of Jharkhand. And these sentiments were echoed by Prime Minister himself. And as he spoke 2 days back in Jharkhand, today we are seeing the central agency ED in action on the ground now.
All right, moving now to Manipur, a state that is now limping back to normalcy, but isolated incidents of violence continue to be reported in the northeastern state. Well, just hours after there was a major encounter in the Jiribam district of Manipur, now 2 bodies have been found of senior citizens inside a house that was burnt down in the Jiribam district itself. So Jiribam remains tense after that fierce encounter in which 12 armed insurgents were killed. Let me go across to my colleague Ratndeep Chaudhary. Ratndeep, what more details do you have about the situation in Jiribam? There seems to be a total curfew right now.
That's right. There is total curfew in Jiribam after yesterday's incident. Remember, yesterday there was what security forces and Manipur police in its statement has claimed that there was a retaliatory fire by a security force led by CRPF in which 10 suspected militants, as claimed by the police in its statement, were gunned down, and there was a huge cache of arms and ammunition recovered from them. However, the Kuki-Zomi tribe, Kuki-Zo tribe civil society groups have claimed that these men were actually the village volunteers who were there, and they were not attacking the CRPF camp when they were fired upon. And remember, ever since last year when the ethnic violence started in Manipur, from both the sides in the violence, the Meitei side and the Kuki-Zo side, in the fringe areas, in the fringe villages between the hilly region and the valley region of Manipur, there are these village volunteers who on both sides guard their village, and they are heavily armed, and in fact the Kuki-Zomi civil society groups in the pockets in the areas where the Kuki-Zomi tribe dominate in the hills, they have called down to dusk shutdown today because of the killing of these 10 youths. However, what we are hearing from police sources is that after combing operation, since some of the huts were also torched and set ablaze, there are reports of recovery of 2 dead bodies. These are elderly people. They are suspected to be elderly people. Only their age and other details will be confirmed after the autopsy takes place. We are also getting an information that about 5 to 6 people from that area are still missing. There is a massive search operation being launched since last night to find them out. Because when the firing took place, there might be a situation that people have ran for safety. So therefore, the overall situation remains quite tense. There is an indefinite curfew which is going on, but police sources do tell us that they have kept the situation under control.
So a huge security challenge there for the security forces. Thanks very much, Ratndeep, for joining us with the latest. I'm told Home Minister Amit Shah is campaigning in Jharkhand's Dhanbad. Let's try and cut across to where he's speaking.
कमल फूल की सरकार बना दो, 1 करोड़ों रुपया लूटने वालों को हम उल्टा लटका कर सीधा करने का काम करेंगे। झारखंड के गरीब आदिवासियों का, पिछड़ा वर्ग के लोगों का, युवाओं का जो रुपया उन्होंने लूटा है, वो सूद समेत इसकी पाई झारखंड की तिजोरी में जमा होगी। ये मेरा आपसे वादा है भाइयों, वादा है। भाइयों बहनों, उन्होंने 1000 करोड़ का मनरेगा घोटाला किया, बड़ा भूमि घोटाला किया, 1000 करोड़ का खनन घोटाला किया, सेना की जमीन भी कब्जा ली, हजारों करोड़ का शराब का घोटाला किया। एक घोटाला करने वाली सरकार है, घोटाला करने वाली सरकार है। भाइयों बहनों, मैं आज कहने आया हूं कि हमारी सरकार बनेगी तो हमने क्या करना है, उसका एक हमने संकल्प पत्र बनाया है। आप मुझे बताओ, ए राहुल बाबा, खटाखट फटाफट, खटाखट फटाफट घोषणाएं करते हैं, पूरी होगी क्या? जोर से बोलो, पूरी होगी? अब जरिया धनबाद वालों, आप भी ना बोल रहे हो और राहुल बाबा के अध्यक्ष खड़गे जी भी ना बोल रहे हैं कि ये कुछ पूरा नहीं होने वाला। मगर मैं आज कहने आया हूं, नरेंद्र मोदी जी की गारंटी, मोदी गारंटी पत्थर पर लकीर होती है। ये एक गारंटी को पूरा करने का काम हम करेंगे। हमने कहा है कि गोगो दीदी योजना के तहत 2100 रुपया, जोर से ताली बजाना बहनों, 2100 रुपया आपके बैंक अकाउंट में हर महीना जमा हो जाएगा। देश में कितना भी गैस के सिलेंडर का भाव हो, आपके यहां 500 रुपये से ज्यादा दाम गैस सिलेंडर का आपको नहीं चुकाना पड़ेगा। और हर दिवाली और रक्षाबंधन को 2 गैस के सिलेंडर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट देने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करेगी। भाइयों बहनों, हेमंत सोरेन ने वादा किया था कि हम युवाओं को बेकारी भत्ता देंगे। युवाओं बताओ, आपको बेकारी भत्ता मिला है क्या? जोर से बोलो, मिला है? मैं बताकर जाता हूं, भाजपा सरकार ला दो, हमारी दीदी को जिताकर ला दो, आपको हर महीना 2000 रुपये का चेक मिलेगा। 2000 रुपये का। भाइयों बहनों, भाजपा सरकार थी तब, भाजपा सरकार थी तब यहां पर 50 लाख की संपत्ति खरीदने पर बहनों को स्टैंप ड्यूटी सिर्फ 1 रुपया देनी पड़ती थी। इन्होंने बंद कर दी। मैं आज कहकर जाता हूं कि हम स्टैंप ड्यूटी को फिर से लागू करने का काम करेंगे। 1 रुपया स्टैंप ड्यूटी योजना फिर से लागू होगी। किसानों का धान 3100 रुपया क्विंटल खरीदा जाएगा और वृद्ध, दिव्यांग और विधवा के पेंशन में 2500 रुपये तक की वृद्धि करने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी करेगी। मुझे धनबाद जरिया वालों बताओ जरा, आप लोग झारखंड में घुसपैठिए आए, इसमें सहमत हो क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो, सहमत हो क्या? ये हेमंत बाबू घुसपैठिए को लाल जाजम बिछाकर बुलाते हैं। आपकी युवाओं रोजी रोटी नौकरी एक घुसपैठिए ले जा रहे हैं। हमारी आदिवासी बहनों से दूसरी, तीसरी, चौथी शादी कर कर उनकी जमीन कब्जाते हैं। मैं आज धनबाद वालों कहकर जाता हूं, भाजपा सरकार बना दो, एक एक घुसपैठिए को चुन चुन कर भारत के बाहर निकालने का काम भाजपा सरकार। इतना ही नहीं, कोई नया घुसपैठिया झारखंड में ना आ पाए, इसकी भी चिंता हम करेंगे। मुझे बताओ झारखंड वालों, एक बात मुझे बताओ, अयोध्या में राम मंदिर बनना चाहिए था या नहीं बनना चाहिए था? जोर से बोलो, बनना चाहिए था या नहीं बनना चाहिए? भाइयों बहनों, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने 75 साल तक राम मंदिर को रोक कर रखा, टोक कर रखा, लटका कर रखा। मोदी जी ने 5 ही साल में पूरे राम मंदिर बनाने का काम और उसकी प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने। भाइयों बहनों, मैं आज आपको बताने आया हूं, न केवल राम मंदिर, हमने काशी विश्वनाथ कॉरिडोर बनाया और सोमनाथ का मंदिर भी सोने का बनने की शुरुआत हो गई है। भाइयों बहनों, आज मैं यहां आया हूं तब जरिया के व्यापारियों को कहना चाहता हूं, आप डरिए मत, हमारी दीदी को विधायक बना दो, किसी को खंडनी नहीं देनी पड़ेगी, किसी को खंडनी नहीं देनी पड़ेगी। और एक कोयला तस्करी जो चल रही है, हमारी दीदी कोयला तस्करी को पूर्णतया समाप्त कर देगी। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का वादा है। भाइयों बहनों, हेमंत जी की सरकार में युवाओं को नौकरी देने के लिए दौड़ा कर मरना पड़ता है। हम ऐसी पारदर्शी भर्ती करेंगे कि आपके घर पर डाकिया आपका अपॉइंटमेंट लेकर आ जाएगा और कुछ करना नहीं पड़ेगा। भाइयों बहनों, एक कांग्रेस पार्टी आरक्षण विरोधी पार्टी, देश के पिछड़ों का आरक्षण, देश के दलितों का आरक्षण समाप्त कर कर वो माइनॉरिटी को, मुसलमानों को आरक्षण देना चाहती। आप मुझे बताओ, आप मुस्लिम आरक्षण के लिए सहमत हो क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो, सहमत हो क्या? आप चिंता मत करो, भाजपा का एक भी विधायक है तब तक मुसलमानों को आरक्षण हम नहीं मिलने देंगे, नहीं। और अंत में मुझे एक बात बताओ भाई, ये राहुल गांधी की पार्टी धारा 370 को वापिस लाना चाहती। धनबाद वालों, धारा 370 वापिस लानी चाहिए क्या? जोर से बोलो, लानी चाहिए। ये कश्मीर जो है हमारा है या नहीं है? भाइयों बहनों, मैं आज धनबाद में राहुल बाबा को कहकर जाता हूं, राहुल बाबा आप तो क्या, आपकी चौथी पीढ़ी भी धारा 370 वापिस नहीं लाएगा। ये कश्मीर जो है वो भारत का अभिन्न अंग है, इसको हमसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता, कोई नहीं छीन। भाइयों बहनों, आज मैं आपको पूछने आया हूं, रागिनी जी आगे आइए आप जरा, हमारी बहन रागिनी जी को प्रचंड बहुमत से जिताओगे क्या? कमल के निशान पर बटन दबाओगे? अरे ऊसो स्टेडियम वाले बोलो, दबाओगे? मोदी जी के हाथ मजबूत करोगे? झारखंड में भाजपा सरकार बनाओगे? तो सुबह सुबह 7 बजे उठकर कमल के निशान पर बटन दबाना है। मगर सुनो, कमल के निशान पर बटन इतने जोर से दबाना कि बटन तो जरिया धनबाद में दबे, इसका करंट इटाली में जाकर लगे। दबाएंगे क्या? तो मेरे साथ दोनों हाथ उठाकर बोलो, जय श्री राम, जय जय श्री राम। भारत माता की, भारत माता की, वंदे वंदे वंदे। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जोहार।
All right, so Home Minister Amit Shah campaigning in Jharkhand. Of course, 3 clear constituencies that he's appealing to. Of course, women, also the tribals and the farmers. Those 3 aspects were certainly the big focus areas as far as Amit Shah's speech is concerned. Reiterating several points, also making what many would say a rather communal remark that the Congress is looking to snatch the reservation from the tribals and give it to the Muslims, saying that we are against any sort of reservation for the Muslims. So, of course, clearly, as many would say, a divisive speech there, at least some aspects of it. But let me go across to the other big headline right now, and that's breaking news coming in about Mohammad Shami. He's set to return to action. Mohammad Shami is set to feature in a Ranji tie from the 13th of November. Of course, he was in a year-long injury. So after that year-long hiatus, Mohammad Shami is all set to return. What we can report at the moment is that he's set to feature in a Ranji tie from the 13th of November. It has, of course, been a long struggle for Mohammad Shami. The past 1 year has been extremely difficult for him post his injury, but he's all set to return. In fact, there were reports earlier as well of him returning to the field, but this is something that has been confirmed now. And in fact, it's the Ranji tie that's coming up from tomorrow. So we will see him on the field from tomorrow after that year-long hiatus. This, of course, as there is, of course, a lot of churn as far as the entire team is concerned. But certainly for Mohammad Shami, good news for his fans certainly there. I believe the first competitive cricket match that he will be playing after his hiatus would be the Bengal versus Madhya Pradesh Ranji Trophy. This is starting tomorrow. This match is being played in Indore, so certainly a comfortable field there for Mohammad Shami. He is expected to arrive in Indore later today, and he is set to feature in that crucial game. He has received the clearance from the authorities as well, from the cricketing academy, for his return to the pitch, and that is something that the Cricket Association of Bengal had put out in the statement as well. It was after the first test against New Zealand, if I am not wrong, in Bengaluru, where Shami had bowled extensively with India's coach, and he appeared to be in good form, certainly, to a lot of experts, and it's after that that he is returning to the pitch now. Moving on to the other big headline, well, in the Shah Rukh Khan threat case, one arrest has been made from Raipur. In fact, the Mumbai police have arrested a key suspect from Raipur, but this certainly puts the focus back on Bollywood celebrities on the security radar, given the fact that the threat to Shah Rukh Khan comes close on the heels of the death threat that Salman Khan received as well. In this particular case, who the accused is, what are his connections, all of that has not been established yet. But let me go across to my colleague Abira, who is joining us from outside Mannat. Abira, so Shah Rukh Khan certainly on the security radar, but the first arrest has been made. Has security also been ramped up outside Mannat? What are you seeing?
Right now, like you said, I'm outside Mannat. There's zero security here. Even the normal police that usually see a police van standing somewhere here, but nothing. Not a single security. There's only one security guy. Oh, he's not even there right now. He sits there on the gate. That's it. There's no security at all here. But what we have heard is Faisal Khan, who has been arrested. Earlier, he was the one whose phone was used to make a threat call to Bandra police station, and later he clarified, giving interviews to news channels saying that my phone was stolen, and he even submitted an FIR. But today, as allegedly, he has been arrested, and he has been taken from Raipur, and he has been brought here to Mumbai. And we have to see what the Mumbai police has to say why this arrest has been made when he had clearly said that his phone was stolen.
Abira, also give us a sense of the security apparatus as far as Shah Rukh Khan is concerned, because that is certainly back in focus with top superstars now receiving security threats. In fact, there were all these reports of Salman Khan cancelling all his shoots, not getting out of his residence for the Big Boss shoot as well. But as far as Shah Rukh Khan is concerned, give us a sense of his security apparatus.
In 2023, Shah Rukh Khan had got a threat, and that time, that was post the success of Pathan and Jawan. And that time, Shah Rukh's team had requested for YZ security, and he did get a YZ security. But right now, after this incident, the police has also confirmed that the team has not asked for a YZ security. The security is very normal here. There's no police around or any security guard around his house. He continues to shoot. He continues to go outside. We have spotted him many times during dubbing or a party. While Salman Khan is in Hyderabad. He has not cancelled any of his shoots. He is out and about shooting with high security, of course, but he is out and about shooting. But with Shah Rukh Khan right now, what we see outside is how there's zero security and doesn't look like a threat at all.
All right, Abira, thanks very much for joining us for the latest there. And as you said, Shah Rukh Khan has been, spotted various events. In fact, he had that massive event for his fans on his birthday just 10 days back. But the Mumbai police had received a threat. In fact, his security was upped recently after the success of Pathan, as Abira is reporting as well. But Shah Rukh Khan receiving that threat, the Mumbai police has made a crucial arrest from Raipur. Remember, this was the very accused that the police had tracked down earlier as well. News now from Karnataka. Well, the Lokayukta, which is a corruption watchdog, the anti-corruption body, is conducting raids at various locations from Belagavi, Devanagari to, of course, Mysuru as well, which is Chief Minister Siddaramaia's backyard, and he's expected to go to Mysuru as well. Of course, the two are not related at all, but interesting timing there certainly, also given the fact that you have crucial Karnataka by-polls also coming up. Earlier we spoke to Pratibha Raman for more.
Well, what we hear from sources is that this is related to disproportionate assets case involved with the KIADB, and that is the department, those officials involved with it who are being explored by the Lokayukta officials, and this is in relation to 9 cases that have been registered against these officials. And many of their residences are in Belagavi, Mysore, as well as the regions of Ballari and Bidar. And these are the places where we have the elections, the by-polls that are being conducted in Karnataka, and that is why this assumes significance. However, whether there's any relation to any of the previous cases or not is yet to be revealed by the Lokayukta officials. And what we know for sure is that this has nothing to do with the Chief Minister's case, which is also being investigated by the Lokayukta officials. Yes, this comes hours before Chief Minister's entry into Mysuru, but remember, Chief Minister's entry there is in relation to the election or the impending election there, and also Mysuru happens to be his backyard. And with respect to further details in regard to the documents that have been collected or the evidences and the case details would be revealed once there's more progress with respect to these raids. Back to you.
And the other big headline, well, in Canada, the Brampton Temple Committee has cancelled a key consular event amid fears of an intense protest. Remember, this comes after various Hindu devotees were attacked by pro-Khalistani groups. Mohammad Ghazali with the latest.
Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has basically issued these threats against the Hindu MP Chandan Arya, and then he also had issued threats that perhaps on November 16th and 17th he will also target Indian diplomats at the temples where these camps were scheduled to be organized in Brampton. And that is the reason why these temple authorities were informed by the police that perhaps they will not be able to provide adequate security, and hence these events have been cancelled. Cancelled in the sense that it has been postponed. Indian authorities have time and again requested, the Indian High Commission there in Canada has requested their counterparts to provide adequate security, but perhaps the Canadian police has not been able to do so. And this was aired last week when the MEA spokesperson also clarified that we had requested for security, but Canadian authorities have not been able to do so. And the reason being that this Sikh for Justice founder Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has been issuing threats, and that is why this event has been cancelled. But the larger picture is that it is going to impact the Indian community there, because at the end of the year, all the pension holders, the NRI citizens or the Indian citizens there who have to avail the pension services from their banks back in India, it happens usually that the Indian High Commission organizes these camps where they furnish the documents, and then High Commission ensures that people don't have to travel back to India to avail those services or to ensure that those services are uninterrupted. But with these threats, this is a new kind of emerging threat which is now going to impact the Indian community directly.
All right, so the police on high alert in Brampton. With that, we'll take a short break now, but news continues on the top of the hour.
Hello, Moto. Motorola Edge 50 Pro. World's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
The suspect behind the threat to Shah Rukh Khan has been arrested by the Mumbai police from Raipur. Lokayukta raids in Karnataka ahead of by-polls, the anti-corruption body conducting raids at over 40 locations. A Maha-political slugfest over the Election Commission's luggage checking. Uddhav Sena says the bags were checked before poll rallies. Shinde Sena rubbishes the charge. A key Canada consular event cancelled after the police letter. This comes the day after there were pro-Khalistan protests at the Brampton Temple.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations?
Well, the long anticipated Maharashtra political battle turns ugly. Maharashtra Congress chief Nana Patore's dog jibe triggers row. BJP slams Congress, calls it frustrated. Lokayukta raids in 40 locations in Karnataka. Raids underway ahead of crucial bypolls in the state. In Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan threat case, Mumbai police nab accused from Chhattisgarh's Raipur. Accused grilled by cops will be produced in court today. In massive protest by UPPSC aspirants in Prayagraj outside their office, UPPSC aspirants demand change in format of examination of PCS prelims and others. Samajwadi Party chief extends backup, says it is BJP's bid to snatch government jobs from youth. Indian cricketer Mohammad Shami set to return to action. Mohammad Shami to feature in a Ranji tie from 13th November. A new report estimates that climate-related extreme weather events have cost the global economy more than $2 trillion over the past decade. Now let's start the bulletin with the Maharashtra updates. Well, campaigning for a candidate in the Akola district on Monday, Maharashtra Congress chief Nana Patole said that the BJP had become arrogant and likened it with a dog.
Now, Nana Patole made the remark while criticizing the BJP's alleged bad treatment of the OBC community. However, the BJP has slammed the Congress, saying such comments show Mahavikas Aghadi's dejection over impending defeat in the assembly election. Sample the reactions coming in.
मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या अकोला जिले के ओबीसी के लोग आप बीजेपी को वोट करोगे जो तुम बोलते हैं? आप बीजेपी को बनाने का समय आ गया है। बीजेपी को बनाने का समय आ गया है। ये इतनी मस्ती में आ गए कि ये किसी को, अब ये तो भगवान हो गए ना, पहले देवेंद्र जी थे।
देखिए, नाना पटोले जी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हैं और फ्रस्ट्रेटेड इसीलिए कि जब वो जमीन पे ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं तो महाराष्ट्र के अंदर उनको समझ में आ रहा है कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार नहीं बन रही। इससे आप समझ सकते हैं कि अगर ये महाराष्ट्र में सरकार में आ गए तो जो भी इनके खिलाफ बोलेगा उनके पर ये केस कर देंगे। इसीलिए कांग्रेस पार्टी को हम कहते हैं वो संविधान को तहस नहस करना चाहती है, क्योंकि बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर का संविधान आपको बोलने की आजादी देता है। साथ में जो शब्द का प्रयोग नाना पटोले जी ने किया है, मैं इसकी निंदा तो करता ही हूं।
And my colleague Anuj Raite joins me for more. Anuj, dog whistling clearly continues during Maharashtra election campaign.
Well, it does. And Nana Patole is not a new person for a controversy of this sort. Yesterday, when he was campaigning for a Congress candidate from Akola, he described the Bharatiya Janata Party, or rather he asked the people to make a dog out of Bharatiya Janata Party. He was giving a reference of an unnamed central minister who had referred to the OBCs as, by calling them a dog, and hence as a retort to it, he asked all those who were present there, to show BJP their place, and this has sparked a new controversy. We're seeing that each and every statement of leaders, especially who are the party heads of at the respective, ends, is being looked at very minutely by their opponents, and the Bharatiya Janata Party is also coming down very heavily for the choice of words which Nana Patole used here while describing the BJP. We were in interaction with Anurag Thakur a while back, where he said that it's the Congress party and Mahavikas Aghadi who are seeing that the defeat is closer, and hence they've come down to use this statement. And when we were looking at what the individual was speaking from the Bharatiya Janata Party earlier as well, they are trying to term it as something which is frustration, an helpless situation in which the Congress finds itself, given what they might be seeing on ground, is what the Bharatiya Janata Party sees. But then Nana Patole has been at the center of such controversies. He's been one of those leaders who, who's been very famous, or rather infamous, for the kind of statements that he gives out in public. We might remember that after the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, one of the party workers from the Congress party even washed his feet while he was coming out of the car, and even that sparked a controversy which was catched upon by the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. So yes, a new controversy, but it'll be interesting to see how different ends of the Mahayuti government and especially the BJP react to this statement going ahead.
Absolutely. Anuj, stay on with us. We have more updates coming in from Maharashtra. Well, Shiv Sena UBT chief Uddhav Thackeray's bags were checked by Election Commission officials as he landed at a helipad in Maharashtra's Yavtamal yesterday. Now, as per reports, an upset Thackeray demanded the officials to send a video of bags also being checked of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar and Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. All of them belong to rival parties. While his luggage was being searched, Shiv Sena UBT chief recorded a video and shared on social media. Let's take a look at the video.
काय नाव तुमचं?
माझं अमोल गाठे नाव आहे साहेब.
कुठे राहणार आहे?
मी मूळचा अमरावतीचा.
अमरावतीचा.
जी सर.
ठीक आहे. कोण? बीच में मत आओ. जरा बाजू.
उघडा ना. आता बॅग उघडली तर हे पण उघडायला
काय उघडायचं ते उघडा, नंतर मी उघडतो तुम्हाला.
आता उद्या नागपूरला दिसणार का तुम्ही? नागपूरला येतात ते साहेब. माझी ड्युटी नाही, तुमची ड्युटी मर्यादित आहे. हो. खालून पण बघा.
ते कुठल्या नोकरी देत, कुठल्या शासकीय नोकरी देत बघून घ्या. हा, ते पण उघडा 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 उघडा. काय पाहिजे असेल तर घ्या, तुम्हाला पण ताण लागली असेल आणि तुम्ही पण माणसं आहात. फ्युएलची टाकी वगैरे काय
साहेब धन्यवाद.
मोदींची तपासली का हो? अमित शहाची तपासली
साहेब अद्याप
नाही, अद्याप आले नाहीत. नाही आले तर मला तपासलीचा व्हिडिओ पाठवायचा.
Now on the same line, the Shiv Sena UBT MP Sanjay Raut has defended his leader and raised questions against EC and stated that Election Commission must check the helicopters and cars of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and others too. Listen in.
आप हमारा सामान चेक करिए, लेकिन क्या आप एकनाथ शिंदे, देवेंद्र फडणवीस, अजित पवार, नरेंद्र मोदी, अमित शाह जी, उनके हेलीकॉप्टर्स, उनके गाड़ियों का कारों का काफिला रुक कर आप उनकी जांच करते हैं क्या? महाराष्ट्र में जिस तरह से पैसे का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चल रहा है, क्या चुनाव आयोग के जो ऑब्जर्वर है उनको ये दिखता नहीं? हमने बार बार उनको बताया क्या हो रहा है.
Now, Mahayuti leaders came down heavily on Uddhav camp and called the allegations baseless. Junking the allegations, Mahayuti has stated that EC is doing a phenomenal job and CM Eknath Shinde was also surged ahead of 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Take a look.
Sanjay Raut has got a habit of making all these wild allegations without any proof. And in the last Lok Sabha election, Chief Minister Eknath Shindeji's bags were also checked when he was getting down from the helicopter, possibly in Nasik. And not only that, Eknath Shindeji did not make any fuss about it or did not create any uproar like the Uddhav Thackeray camp is doing now. Over that, if you have seen the Election Commission, they have acted swiftly, whether it is near Sangola, whether it is in other places of Maharashtra, and even out of Mumbai in Jharkhand. You have seen that several places where cash has been seized by the Election Commission. And I think Election Commission is doing a good job. Firstly, instead of appreciating the huge exercise the Election Commission, the officials, the administration, the police and all the departments are doing, they're just making these false allegations. Wherever the Election Commission is doing their work, they're doing, I think, promptly, and they're doing it well, systematically and professionally, and they have no bias whatsoever. Over that, like I told you, even the Chief Minister's bag has been checked. So I don't know why they are creating this kind of fuss all the time. If there is nothing, then what do you have to fear actually?
And Anuj stays with us. Anuj, this is not the first time that the opposition has questioned the ethics and the work culture of Election Commission. It has been time and again raising questions over it.
Well, yes, ECI has been on the Maha Vikas Aghadi's radar, not just ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections or state assembly elections, but ever since 2022 split, which resulted in the formation of a new political experiment, that is Mahayuti. We've seen that earlier this week as well. Nana Patole wrote multiple letters to to the Election Commission of officers about the requesting for the suspension of the DGP, and then again casting doubts over the conditional appointment of the new DGP. And now we are seeing that the procedure of checking the bags of the leaders has also become a matter. And yesterday, this video started surfacing. This incident took place yesterday afternoon, but Uddhav Thackeray was not the only person whose bags were checked as far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned. Sharad Pawar faction NCP's MP from Shirur, Amol Kolle's bags were also checked last evening, and that video also started surfacing. So one after the other, the Mahavikas Aghadi volunteers, the Mahavikas Aghadi leaders tried to seize on the opportunity and demanded answers on why were the bags of those in power, be it Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, or even the Prime Minister Amit Shah, who've been touring the state, ahead of the elections. Their bags are not checked. In fact, we can hear Uddhav Thackeray ask the officials in this video about when was the last time they checked the bags of Fadnavis, Shinde, or Narendra Modi. And he's also asked them to send him the videos when they do it the next time.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anuj, for staying with us and giving us those details. Breaking news coming in the Asha Kiran shelter deaths case, Delhi High Court has summoned Delhi Finance Secretary, and he has been summoned at 2 p.m. today. Remember, there were several deaths reported at the shelter home, after which the High Court is asking what proof will be found after 8 months. Now, the Delhi High Court's raps come after it was alleged that there is non-compliance of its order and ill coordination between authorities was observed. Now, the Finance Secretary has been issued a summon and he is expected to appear before the court at 2 p.m. today. My colleague Tanushka Datta is joining me for more details. Tanushka, give us more details about the case.
Well, Aditi, what the court said in the hearing today with respect to the Asha shelter home deaths is, of course, that also, talking about what evidence will be found in this case after 8 months. After 8 months, what the court said is even the blood stains will not be found. The Delhi High Court summons the Delhi Government Finance Secretary over non-commissioning of funds and directs the Finance Secretary to appear before the court at 2 p.m. today. The court irked over non-compliance of its orders and said that this is all ill coordination between authorities. The court also questioned registration of the FIR in the Asha Kiran shelter home death case. Remember, there was death of 14 inmates back in August at the Asha Kiran shelter home. And now the court is also asking and raising questions that why is it that after 8 months, this registration of the FIR has happened.
Tanushka, if you can give us a sense of at what time exactly is he coming? Is the timing confirmed at 2 p.m. he will be appearing?
Well, the court has directed the Finance Secretary of the Delhi government to appear before it at 2 p.m. today with respect to, of course, the non-commissioning of the funds. So the timing is pretty clear at this point, and what remains to be seen is whether or not the Delhi Finance Secretary will appear before the court with respect to the concerns that the court has raised at 2 p.m. this afternoon or not.
Anyway, rightly so. Thank you so much, Tanushka, for joining us and giving those details. At 2 p.m. Delhi Finance Secretary is going to appear before the court. Now, Jharkhand is all set to go for polls in its first phase tomorrow. As many as 43 assembly seats will witness polling. Where will the fight take place? How much votes will BJP gather? Remember, Home Minister Amit Shah also is conducting rallies in the poll-bound state and is garnering support. The major row is over infiltrators versus insider versus outsider politics that is undergoing. Now, 250 patrolling or polling stations, beg your pardon, will be very sensitive to watch. You can see the visuals, how the Election Commission is preparing to undertake the whole exercise in the Naxal-prone areas. Now, choppers are being used to send personnel to these areas. Security has been upped in all the places where elections will take place tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the first phase of elections in Jharkhand, the first D-Day rather, when the state of Jharkhand actually goes to poll. 43 assembly constituencies is where the voting will happen, and we are at Ranchi's Morabadi Maidan. This is the main center from where the EVM machines are being dispatched. The polling personnel, the security personnel, they are all being dispatched. You can see on your screens, these are the EVM, these personnel, they are government employees who are deployed in the election duty, and they are carrying the EVM machines. Now they are leaving for their respective polling stations, which has been allocated to them along with the security personnel, and they will reach their destination tonight itself, and from tomorrow morning they will start the procedure of polling. The election would start. So this is where you can see the crowd over there, the huge crowd gathered of polling personnel, of security personnel, and we can see huge number of paramilitary Jawans, especially in a state like Jharkhand, which is hypersensitive from the Naxal point of view. The paramilitary Jawans are deployed in huge numbers, and around 250 constituencies are such where the polling personnel or the security personnel, they are being airlifted by Air Force chopper to reach their respective polling station, and then they'll be airlifted after the polling process is complete, because they are hypersensitive, they are super sensitive, so they are not, the administration on the election commission is not using road actually to commute over there. The choppers would actually pick up the polling personnel and the security personnel from their respective destinations, take them to the polling stations, and then airlift them after they complete the polling process over there. So this is the place from where the polling personnel, the security personnel, they are being dispatched to all the their respective polling stations. And you can see a huge number of vehicles over there. These are the vehicles which have been seized by the administration, by the election commission, to be used in the election duty. The paramilitary Jawans over here, they're all part of the election duty. They have come here for the security cover. And the real challenge before the election commission and administration here, especially in the state like Jharkhand, is to ensure not only free and fair election, but a bloodless election, because this is a Naxal infested state actually, and many of the regions are highly Naxal sensitive. So the real challenge would be to follow a SOP both by the security personnel and the polling personnel, so that there is no untoward Naxal related violence during the polls. We are told that few of those among the Naxal affected areas, few of the polling stations are so vulnerable that you have to actually use choppers to bring to get your EVM machines over there and the personnel over there.
Actually, 225 booth in Jharkhand, we are having this issue, and we are taking the polling personnel and sector officer through Indian Air Force helicopters, and they will be dropping at the interior locations, and after that they will go for the polling stations. And normally we will do the area domination through the paramilitary forces. They will be available at the ground, and for the safety reasons we will airlift the polling personnel and security officers.
And just one day before Jharkhand goes to polls for the first phase, Home Minister Amit Shah held a rally and launched a scathing attack on the JMM and Congress alliance. He said, and I quote, "will uproot infiltrators from Jharkhand." This has been the constant attack by the BJP, that infiltrators are coming in Jharkhand and grabbing land as well as other resources. Now, Home Minister has promised anti-infiltration law also in Jharkhand if BJP is elected to power. Now, Congress government, he said, that is against reservation, and it is the BJP who will safeguard the rights of OBCs and tribals. Listen into what he had to say.
आप लोग झारखंड में घुसपैठिए आए, इसमें सहमत हो क्या? ये हेमंत बाबू घुसपैठिए को लाल जाजम बिछाकर बुलाते हैं। आपकी युवाओं रोजी रोटी नौकरी एक घुसपैठिए ले जा रहे हैं। हमारी आदिवासी बहनों से दूसरी, तीसरी, चौथी शादी कर उनकी जमीन कब्जाते हैं। मैं आज धनबाद वालों कहकर जाता हूं, भाजपा सरकार बना दो, एक एक घुसपैठिए को चुन चुन कर भारत के बाहर निकालने का काम भाजपा सरकार। भाइयों बहनों, एक कांग्रेस पार्टी आरक्षण विरोधी पार्टी, देश के पिछड़ों का आरक्षण, देश के दलितों का आरक्षण समाप्त कर वो माइनॉरिटी को, मुसलमानों को आरक्षण देना चाहती। आप मुझे बताओ, आप मुस्लिम आरक्षण के लिए सहमत हो क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो, सहमत हो क्या? आप चिंता मत करो, भाजपा का एक भी विधायक है तब तक मुसलमानों को आरक्षण हम नहीं मिलने देंगे, नहीं।
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is addressing rallies in the poll-bound Maharashtra. Let's cut to it.
नागपुर से गढ़चिरौली रेलवे लाइन का काम भी अब बस पूरा होने की तैयारी में है। इससे किसको सुविधा मिलेगी? आपको ये सुविधा मिलेगी, आपका समय बचेगा, आपका पैसा बचेगा। भाइयों बहनों, महाराष्ट्र का तेज विकास ये अघाड़ी वालों के बस की बात नहीं है भाई। अघाड़ी वालों ने केवल विकास पर ब्रेक लगाने में पीएचडी कर दी है। कामों को अटकाना, लटकाना और भटकाना, ये कांग्रेस वाले तो इसमें डबल पीएचडी है, एक्सपर्ट है। 2.5 साल में इन्होंने मेट्रो से लेकर वाडवण पोर्ट और समृद्धि महामार्ग तक हर विकास परियोजनाओं को रोकने का काम किया। इसलिए याद रखिएगा, आघाड़िया ने भ्रष्टाचार के सबसे बड़े खिलाड़ी, ये आघाड़िया ने खिलाड़ी, आप इन्हें दोबारा लूट का लाइसेंस मिलने देंगे क्या? जरा पूरी ताकत से बताइए, मिलने देंगे क्या? लूट करने देंगे क्या? खजाना भरने देंगे क्या? साथियों, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, जरा पूरी ताकत से जवाब दीजिए। आप महाराष्ट्र की प्रगति पर ब्रेक लगने देंगे क्या? साथियों, कांग्रेस और उसके साथी दल हिंसा और अलगाववाद पर राजनीतिक रोटियां सेकते हैं। अभी कुछ ही दिन पहले जम्मू कश्मीर की विधानसभा में क्या हुआ, पूरे देश ने देखा है। आपने भी टीवी में देखा होगा, अखबारों में पढ़ा होगा, सोशल मीडिया में आया होगा। ये हमारा जम्मू एंड कश्मीर दशकों तक अलगाववाद और आतंकवाद में जलता रहा। महाराष्ट्र के मेरे कितने ही वीर जवान मातृभूमि की रक्षा करते करते जम्मू कश्मीर की धरती पर शहीद हो गए। और ये हालत बनी कैसे? ये पाप पनपा कैसे? जिस कानून की आड़ में, जिस धारा की आड़ में ये सब हुआ, वो धारा थी 370, और ये 370 धारा कांग्रेस की देन थी। और जैसे ही हमने 370 को खत्म किया, कश्मीर को भारत और भारत के संविधान से पूरी तरह नाता जोड़ा। हमारे देश के बहुत लोगों को पता ही नहीं है, शायद आपके लिए भी बहुत सी जानकारी पहली बार होगी। बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर ने जो संविधान बनाया, जो संविधान पूरे देश ने स्वीकार किया, लागू किया, लेकिन आपको जानकर के दुख होगा कि इस संविधान की माला जपने वाले लोगों ने 7 दशक से भी ज्यादा समय जम्मू कश्मीर में बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर के दिए हुए संविधान को लागू नहीं किया था। 7 दशक तक, देश आजाद होने के बाद, जब तक मोदी नहीं आया तब तक इस देश में 2 संविधान चलते थे। एक संविधान जो बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर ने दिया, जिसका पालन हम सब लोग करते थे, और दूसरा विधान जम्मू कश्मीर था। जम्मू कश्मीर का हाई कोर्ट का जज शपथ लेता था, भारत के संविधान के नाम पर नहीं, जम्मू कश्मीर का मुख्यमंत्री शपथ लेता था, भारत के संविधान के नाम पर नहीं। कारण 370 की ऐसी दीवार थी जो बाबा साहब के संविधान को जम्मू कश्मीर में घुसने नहीं देती थी। ये मोदी को आपने आशीर्वाद दिया और 370 को हमेशा हमेशा के लिए हमने जमीन में गाड़ दिया। दोस्तों, लेकिन कांग्रेस वालों को, उनके साथियों को ये बात पच नहीं रही है और इसलिए कांग्रेस और उसके साथी कश्मीर में फिर से धारा 370 वापस ला करके लागू करने का प्रस्ताव सदन में लाए हैं, सदन में पास करवा रहे हैं। जरा कांग्रेस वालों को पूछिए, उनके साथियों को पूछिए कि जो धारा 370 खत्म हो गई, जिस जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत का संविधान पैर नहीं रख सकता था, उस जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत का संविधान पहुंचा, क्या आप फिर से इसको रोक लोगे? ये लोग वो काम कर रहे हैं जो काम पाकिस्तान चाहता है। मैं जरा यहां के लोगों से पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या कांग्रेस को ये करने देंगे आप? ये करने देंगे? 370 वापस आने देंगे? जम्मू कश्मीर को हमसे दूर रखने देंगे? उनके और उनके साथियों को सजा देंगे? साथियों, हमारे चंद्रपुर के इस क्षेत्र ने भी
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
We reached an agreement on patrolling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the patrolling which we were doing in 2020.
It's a web of frauds, calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. How to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con. Only on NDTV 24/7.
have been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps.
And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone.
And Lokayukta raids are underway at 40 locations in connection with 9 cases registered with the department. The raids are underway in Belagavi, Haveri, Davangere, Kalaburagi, Mysore. The raids are being conducted in connection with 9 cases registered with the Lokayukta department. My colleague Pratibha Raman, who has been tracking these raids, is joining me live right now on the broadcast. Pratibha, take us through the latest update that we are getting on 11 government officials is what we are learning. These raids are being carried out against. What are the findings, if there are any?
Well, as of now, no details that have emerged yet, but what we understand is that these raids are in connection with 9 cases that have been registered already with the Lokayukta, and these raids have been on in 40 locations across Karnataka. Now, what are they trying to check is the fact that the sources have mentioned that there are wealth that they have accumulated which is disproportionate to their income, and in connection with which these raids are being conducted. All their documents as well as evidences are being collected. More details would emerge as the raids progress through the day. But this also coincides with the impending bipole in 3 major states, and one of them happens to be in Channapatna, which is very close to Mysore. And remember, Mysore and Mandya are the regions where the raids are also being conducted right as we speak. And also this comes on a day when the Chief Minister is visiting Mysore. Mysore also happens to be the backyard of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah there. So all of these bears or assumes a lot of significance at this point in time. But we know for sure that this is or this has no connection with either the Muda allegations or the Chief Minister's visit. But yet all eyes are on the impact that this would have on the election and the details that would emerge once the raids are over. And this also comes at a time when the Channapatna sees one of the most high-profile contests there, because we have H.D. Kumaraswamy's son who is contesting against C.P. Yogeshwar of the Congress, and that is precisely why the Chief Minister's visit there also assumes significance. Yes, the Lokayukta officials are also conducting the Muda investigation there, but both the cases are separate to each other, is what we understand at this point in time. Back to you.
Absolutely, Pratibha. And if we talk about the Muda scam, alleged Muda scam, there is also one fresh allegation that has been evolved in it by the activists, saying that the stamp duty, the Chief Minister paid for it, all 14 locations. Can you also elaborate that controversy that is brewing in Karnataka?
Right from day one, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has been maintaining that there was absolutely no purchase deed and there were no fresh documents that were already presented by the activists talking about how the land was purchased much after the layouts were done by the Muda are all false, is the stand that has been maintained by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. And here is where the activist has gone on to produce another evidence of sorts, talking about how there has also been a stamp duty. If there was no purchase, then how would a stamp duty emerge? Is the question that has been raised, but much would depend on how this evidence would be taken forward by the investigating officials, because remember the Lokayukta officials have already been conducting a lot of interrogations with respect to both the Chief Minister as well as his wife.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pratibha, for joining us with those details. Now, thousands of students protested outside the Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission in Prayagraj, demanding the conduct of the Provincial Civil Service Prelims and Review Officer and Assistant Review Officer examinations in one shift. Rapid Action Force and police personnel are present at the spot as students and aspirants continue their protest. Remember, earlier on 5th November, the UPPSC announced that the RO-AROA preliminary examination would be held in 3 shifts on December 22 and 23. And the PCS preliminary examination would be held in 2 shifts on December 7 and 8. Now, the students are miffed and they want the examination to be conducted in one phase only and only. Meanwhile, politics over the matter is also brewing. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav has extended his support to the aspirants, calling their demand legitimate and saying that this is the BJP's bid to snatch government jobs from the youth, and this is the conspiracy that now the aspirants have understood, and hence they are conducting and demanding fair examination in this matter. My colleague Ranveer is also joining me, who has been covering this protest since day one. Ranveer, do we know anything that the officials or the government officials are doing about it? It is day 2 of the protest.
The top officials, including the district magistrate and commissioner, both were here in the morning and they tried to talk to students who are protesting here. But the students are rigid that they will stop this protest once the demands will be accepted. And you can see the gathering, a huge gathering of students can be seen here outside the UPPCS office, and you can see the arrangements, huge security arrangements, police and paramilitary forces are here. I am joined with some students, some aspirants who are here to know their issues. भैया क्या नाम है?
विक्रम सिंह।
क्या मांग है आपकी?
सर हम लोग की नॉर्मलाइजेशन को लेके मांग है और इसके तहत ये 2 शिफ्ट में एग्ज़ाम करवा रहे हैं। हम लोग चाहते हैं कि एक दिन में एग्ज़ाम हो, एक शिफ्ट में एग्ज़ाम हो, एक पेपर हो और 45 दिन पहले नोटिस दी जाए। और अब एक साथ हमारी एक और मांग है, हम सारी नेशनल मीडिया से भी ये कहना चाहते हैं, आपके माध्यम से ये कहना चाहते हैं, आयोग से हम प्रतियोगी छात्रों की अब कोई उम्मीद नहीं है। हम चाहते हैं कि जिस तरीके से हम 40 घंटे से यहाँ परेशान हो रहे हैं, योगी जी को 2 मिनट लगेगा ट्वीट करके ये कर दें कि हाँ एग्ज़ाम एक ही शिफ्ट में होगा। बहुत बहुत आभार होगा उनका।
कब तक बैठोगे?
हम आपके माध्यम से देश को कहना चाहते हैं, देश की जनसंख्या को कहना चाहते हैं, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री योगी जी,
क्या कहना?
हम ये कहना चाहते हैं हमारे धैर्य की परीक्षा न ली जाए। हम गांधी के देश के निवासी हैं, हम उनके देश के युवा हैं। हमारा जीवन आजीवन, जैसे वो कहते हैं आजीवन ब्रह्मचर्य, वैसे आजीवन मैं धरा पर आंदोलन कर सकता हूँ। हमारे अंदर इतनी ऊर्जा है, मैं धरती पुत्र माना जाता हूँ, मतलब मैं किसान घर से आता हूँ। इसलिए आयोग हमारे सब का इंतजार न करे और भ्रम में न रहे।
सुबह डीएम साहब आए थे, कमिश्नर साहब आए थे, क्या बात?
रात के 12 बजे जो उन्होंने कहा कि आश्वासन ये दिया कि हमारी बात आयोग के अध्यक्ष से हो रही, लेकिन बार बार वो आयोग के अध्यक्ष के मतलब वो बात लेकर आ रहे हैं, हमारी बात नहीं ले जा रहे हैं। हमारी बात क्यों नहीं ले जा रहे हैं? वो आयोग का एजेंट बन के आ रहे हैं। हमारी आवाज़
ये कह रहे हैं सचिव से आपकी बात हुई है क्या?
मैं दिल्ली से आया हूँ, मैं पिछले 1 महीने से इस आंदोलन में सक्रिय रहा हूँ। जब 21 तारीख को पहली बार हम लोग आए थे तो हम लोग शांतिपूर्ण धरना प्रदर्शन किए और सचिव महोदय की बात पे हम 3-4 घंटा में अपने घर।
क्या बात हुई आप?
उन्होंने हम लोगों ने कहा कि हमारी परीक्षा 1 डे 1 शिफ्ट में हो, दोनों UPPCS RO। सर ने कहा कि हाँ हम इसका पूरा ध्यान रखेंगे, अपने छात्रों के प्रति संवेदनशील रहेंगे और हम वही करेंगे जो आप चाहते हैं। उसके बाद सर हम लोगों ने ट्विटर के माध्यम से अवगत कराया, स्पीड पोस्ट के माध्यम से अवगत कराया, कैंडल मार्च किया। फिर 5 तारीख को आयोग की तरफ से नोटिस आती है कि हमारी परीक्षा दोनों 2 शिफ्ट में होगी। सर उसी के विरोध में हम लोग 11 तारीख को आए हैं और सर इस निर्णय के साथ आएंगे कि जब तक हमें नोटिस नहीं मिलेगी नहीं। सर एक बात और
you can see the students, they are rigid over their demands and they are demanding that the exam should be held in one day, one shift, and there should be no normalization because the main protest is against normalization, which is due to multiple shifts in UPPSC and RO and ARO exams, which is scheduled to be held in December.
Right. Thank you so much, Ranveer, for bringing us those voices from the ground. And these are the aspirants who are demanding that exams should be conducted in one phase only. Now, shifting our focus to the death threats that are being given to Bollywood superstars Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan. Well, now Mumbai police has cracked the whip on the accused that had allegedly sent the death threat to King Khan. And Mumbai police have arrested the accused from Chhattisgarh's Raipur, where he has been taken into transit remand. Now he will be produced in court today. Let's listen to what the police had to say.
मुंबई से एक टीम जो है बांद्रा पुलिस की अभी पंडित थाने में पहुंची हुई थी और उन्होंने एक फैज़ान खान नाम का एक व्यक्ति जो उनके एक मामले में एक्टर शाहरुख खान को धमकी देने के मामले में आरोपी है, उसको गिरफ्तार किया है। उसको नोटिस दिया गया था, उसके बाद उन्होंने जांच किया है। जांच के बाद उन्होंने उसको आरोपी पाए जाने के बाद आज उस व्यक्ति को गिरफ्तार किया, जिसकी सूचना भी हम लोग को दी और हमारी टीम भी उनके साथ गई थी और इस मामले में आज वो उसको ट्रांजिट रिमांड पे लेकर गिरफ्तार करके ट्रांजिट रिमांड पे लेकर मुंबई लेके जा रहे हैं।
And my colleague is present outside Mannat, which is the residence of Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan. Abira, thank you so much for joining us at this hour. Abira, take us through the security details. Security has been upped for Shah Rukh Khan, and take us through how the atmosphere is outside his house, and also what is the update? Has the accused been brought to Mumbai?
The accused is in transit. He has still not been brought to Mumbai. We are waiting for update from the police about that. And when it comes to security, I'm right outside Mannat and doesn't look like any security has been put here or police. If I can show you around, these are all fans who are sitting here. It's a everyday story outside Mannat. There is nothing, not a single policeman. If you can see this road usually has one police van. But today that is also not there. So clearly the security has not been given to Shah Rukh Khan. But this was back in 2023. He had given the police had given wiser security to him because after the success of Pathan and Jawan, he had got threats, and that time he was given wiser security. But as of today, there is not a single police or security standing outside Mannat. We know for now that Shah Rukh Khan is at home, not out anywhere. But usually, if there is a threat, we see security, which is not here right now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Abira, for joining us with those details. And breaking news coming in for the Bengal Bipole fight, the Bharatiya Janata Party has now written to Election Commission against Trinamool Congress. BJP has moved its complaint over a fake video. The BJP cites that a fake video was posted by TMC leader, Medinipur BJP candidate shown in drunken state in that video is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is claiming in its letter to the Election Commission. My colleague Saurabh Gupta is joining me for more details. Saurabh, take us through the details. We are learning that over a fake video, BJP has moved EC.
Well, the BJP has, of course, written to the Chief Electoral Officer of West Bengal, Election Commission of India, and they've alleged that there has been obviously a fake video which they alleged has been shared by the
Right, we seem to be having some issues with this audio line. My colleague Saurabh Gupta will be joining us in a moment, but for now, Bharatiya Janata Party has written to Election Commission citing that a fake video has been posted by TMC leader in which a BJP candidate is shown in drunken state. Now, BRS Working President K.T. Ramarao has demanded the cancellation of tenders worth Rs 8,888 crore awarded under the Amrut 2.0 scheme in Telangana, suspecting huge corruption and crony capitalism. He also demanded a thorough investigation by the centre into the tender process and immediate action against those involved. KTR said, and I quote, "There cannot be a bigger example of crony capitalism, corruption and abuse of power." KTR also said the Congress government in Telangana was facilitating corruption to benefit its leader, including Rahul Gandhi. Now, it has been frequently seen how KTR has been up in the arms against Congress party. However, Congress calls the allegations baseless.
Today, your party and the leaders also met Manohar Lal Khattar over these allegations. What are these allegations based on? And you also mentioned about this company which has been allotted thousands of crores of the tender has no qualification to get such tenders. Why are you making such allegations?
Well, Rahul Gandhi keeps talking about crony capitalism and corruption and abuse of power. And that's exactly what's happening in Telangana today. The Chief Minister's brother-in-law's company, which has neither financial capabilities nor technical abilities, has been awarded a work of 1137 crore by way of a joint venture with a large company. Now, the issue here is very straightforward. There is a conflict of interest angle, there is an office of profit angle, and most importantly, there is the crony capitalism angle. If you notice, this company with a net profit of 2.2 crore in last financial year, and the previous year it was about 3 crores. Today, apparently has suddenly magically attained the abilities to execute a work of 1100 crore of work. So therefore, questions are being asked, and we have presented the documentary evidence to Shri Manohar Lal Khattarji. We have also shared it with you in the media conference just now. And I'm hoping that Prime Minister Modi and his cabinet and his colleagues who keep talking about how Congress has converted Telangana into an ATM will act on these evidences, will act on these complaints. Because अगर आप बात करते रहेंगे और उस पर कोई एक्शन नहीं होगा, जनता में भी आपसे विश्वास उड़ जाएगा. इसलिए मैं मोदी जी से और केंद्र सरकार से भी कहने ये आया कि तेलंगाना में जो अमृत में स्कैम हुआ, इस घोटाले का इंक्वायरी हो, एक जांच हो और पूरी तरह से फैक्ट्स क्या है लोगों के सामने आए.
GST on talking. So KTR has no other employment now. So he must keep talking. So keep talking. Expose your own evils. The more you talk, the more people understand what you were up to. So it doesn't bother us. Close to crony capitalism, my God, you should have a patent on that. You were the guys. You would try to fool the people of Telangana and tell them stories about this and that and pretend that they're talking against Mr. Modi. And then they come to the centre and then support them on all the bills in Parliament. This is known as speaking with a forked tongue.
A new report from the International Chamber of Commerce, which comes as the UN Climate Change Conference begins in Azerbaijan this week, is flashing a warning signal about climate change and natural disasters, finding that their total economic damage has skyrocketed into the trillions. For the first time, climate change is costing the world $2 trillion, with the US, China and India facing the most losses due to extreme weather. My colleague Disha Bagchi is joining me for more details. Disha, take us through the details. How did exactly this report has come, on what basis?
Right, Aditi. So this report is, in fact, we can see this as a warning to the world. And it comes at a time when COP29, which is the UN Climate Summit, has just taken place has just begun in Baku, Azerbaijan. And in fact, top Western leaders and whether the leaders of the EU, France, Germany, etc., even leaders from India have skipped the summit, which again signals the world's attitude and views towards climate change. Now, in terms of the key findings of this report, as you mentioned, and the key figure and the key startling sort of observation is that extreme weather and climate change has cost the world economy over $2 trillion. So a huge figure, and this is a staggering figure which the report is even comparing to the losses incurred by the global economy during the 2008 financial crisis. And among the countries to face the biggest losses, US tops the list. After that, it's China, and third place is India. India has in fact incurred losses of $112 billion US, and which is why it's crucial that these reports and these startling observations come out to the world and lead to some sort of policy changes in India and in the global economy. And this is not the only report that has come out. The World Meteorological Organization also revealed a report which showed that the global temperatures have in fact risen to above 1.5 degrees Celsius of the pre-industrial levels. So various reports are now coming out indicating that climate change is no longer a concern for the future, but in fact a present concern that needs to be dealt with immediately. So very startling observations coming out of this report. Back to you, Aditi.
Right. Thank you so much, Disha, for joining us with those details and analysis. Now, Indian pacer Mohammad Shami is set to make his return to competitive cricket after nearly a year on the sidelines. Shami will represent Bengal in their Ranji Trophy match against Madhya Pradesh starting tomorrow. The National Cricket Academy has cleared him to play. Shami's return was anticipated for some time with expectations he would feature in the Ranji Trophy. However, a delayed fitness certificate from the NCA due to reported injury concerns prevented his earlier participation. It will be a good news for all. With that, we're slipping into a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Campaigning for Maharashtra elections turn ugly. Maha-Congress chief Nana Patole's dog jibe triggers row. BJP slams Congress, calls it frustrated. Lokayukta raids in 40 locations in Karnataka. Raids underway ahead of crucial bypolls in the state. In Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan threat case, Mumbai police nab accused from Chhattisgarh's Raipur. Police to bring accused to Mumbai, now taken to Raipur court. And massive student protest in Prayagraj. UPPSC aspirants push for exam change format.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations? Non-stop coverage on NDTV. Top analysts and voices from the ground. Extensive coverage on NDTV.
We reached an agreement on patrolling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the patrolling which we were doing in 2020.
It's a web of frauds, calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. How to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con. Only on NDTV 24/7.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps.
And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए। इस प्रोजेक्ट की उम्मीद है।
Prime Minister Modi's scathing attack on the Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra. Prime Minister says need to end Aghadi's loot in Maharashtra. The Bharatiya Janata Party writes to Election Commission over fake videos in West Bengal. Bipole fight, says fake video being posted by TMC leader Sudeep Raha. Maharashtra political battle turns ugly. Maharashtra Congress chief's dog remarks sparks huge controversy. BJP calls Maharashtra Congress frustrated. Lokayukta raids in Karnataka ahead of the bypolls. Lokayukta raids 40 locations in Karnataka. Mohammad Shami to return to action. Shami to feature in Ranji Trai Forum 13th November. News report rings climate change alarm bell. Extreme weather cost $2 trillion globally. A new report, in fact, estimates that the cost to global economy is over 2 trillion in the past decade. Good afternoon and welcome to NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Death threats to Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan is the latest victim of these threats. Now the accused who was arrested in Raipur has been taken to the court. The police is expected to bring the accused to Mumbai. Now this is in the ongoing series of threats that Bollywood superstars have received. Shah Rukh Khan is the latest one. Remember, Salman Khan has also been facing death threats where security has been beefed up for both the superstars.
मुंबई से एक टीम जो है बांद्रा पुलिस की अभी पंडित थाने में पहुंची हुई थी और उन्होंने एक फैज़ान खान नाम का एक व्यक्ति जो उनके एक मामले में एक्टर शाहरुख खान को धमकी देने के मामले में आरोपी है, उसको गिरफ्तार किया है। उसको नोटिस दिया गया था, उसके बाद उन्होंने जांच किया है। जांच के बाद उन्होंने उसको आरोपी पाए जाने के बाद आज उस व्यक्ति को गिरफ्तार किया, जिसकी सूचना भी हम लोग को दी और हमारी टीम भी उनके साथ गई थी और इस मामले में आज वो उसको ट्रांजिट रिमांड पे लेकर गिरफ्तार करके ट्रांजिट रिमांड पे लेकर मुंबई लेके जा रहे हैं।
My colleague Abira is joining us with more details on this. Abira, now, this comes into a series of threats that Bollywood superstars are facing after Salman Khan, now Shah Rukh, in between the murder of Baba Siddiqui, who was close to a lot of Bollywood stars. I mean, this will set in some sort of fear as far as the film industry is concerned.
Yes, absolutely. But for now, Salman Khan is still going ahead with all his work commitments, shooting in Hyderabad for Sikandar right now. If you have seen visuals, he has wiser security around him. He is completely surrounded with security on the set of Sikandar, but the shoot continues. While we are standing outside Mannat right now, even after Shah Rukh Khan got this threat, on 5th of November, we don't see any security here. Into 2023, after the release of Pathan and Jawan, they were such successful films of Shah Rukh Khan. The actor had got a threat and he had got YZ security then. But today, even after the threat on 5th of November, for which Faizan Khan, the alleged accused, has been arrested in Raipur, there's no security. Let me show you around. These are all Shah Rukh Khan fans who flock together always in front of Shah Rukh's house. They're taking pictures. There's no security stopping them or asking them to move away from the gate. Let me show you this road. This road is right beside Mannat, and all Shah Rukh's car, even a police car, the bodyguards, all are parked here. The cars are parked here, but we don't see any police car or even security standing there. So, and also the police had earlier said that the Shah Rukh Khan's team had not asked for YZ security. Even after the threat, they had filed a complaint for FIR, but no security was given to them, or even they ask for it.
Right. Thank you, Bira, for joining us with all those details at this moment. The security at this moment, in fact, very tight for Salman Khan. This will also get the agencies to rework or at least rethink on the security for Shah Rukh Khan as well. Meanwhile, in the Bengal Bipole fight, now the BJP has complained to the Election Commission against the TMC. The BJP complaint is over an alleged fake video that the BJP says has been posted by a TMC leader. The Manipur BJP candidate is shown in a drunken state in this video, and now the BJP has written a letter and complaint against the TMC for showing what they allege is a fabricated video. So this is the latest. In fact, remember the TMC had approached the Election Commission earlier and had complaint against the BJP state chief Sukanta Majumdar for his comments, and then later the Election Commission said that Sukanta Majumdar has been asked to explain his comments. There was a war of words between the Election Commission and the TMC over how long did it take for the EC to in fact act. The EC said that it took only 20 hours. Meanwhile, the TMC alleged that this entire action by the Election Commission was taken after the campaigning for the bypolls was over. Let me go across to Mr. Manav Jaiswal, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. I want to ask you, the BJP says that this is a fabricated video and hence there should be an FIR registered against the TMC leader who put it out on social media trying to defame the Manipur candidate of the BJP.
First of all, namaskar to the nation. As you could see what the desperation the BJP has come into. This is the face of the real candidatures of the BJP. You can understand that recently Election Commission has reprimanded Sukanta Majumdar, and you could see all over India the number of times the BJP candidates have been reprimanded on the platform which is about the religious, the comments, derogatory remarks against the women, derogatory remarks against a particular community, and also with a lot of inebriated videos that has been coming pan-India. You understand what BJP stands for as the Bharatiya Jutta Party. And again, they are lying because they also know that they are not winning this seat. They are not winning anything in Bengal. So this is kind of a propaganda, or probably a kind of a pseudo-awareness they want to bring into the society at large. Yes, we are fighting. There's no fight. BJP has already lost.
Of the TMC of, in fact, spreading propaganda. They are saying that's a fabricated video. Now, the Election Commission, they are asking the Election Commission not only to, in fact, take down this video, but also investigate how the TMC is propagating these falsehood as far as the BJP is concerned.
See, Ankit, I already told you earlier, I don't want to reiterate and recommend. BJP is actually a Bharatiya Jutta Party. This is actual face of the BJP's candidate. The people out there, the Janta, Janajan, they have all understood what BJP stands for. And this is how BJP has been trying to save them. And nothing's going to happen.
But are you giving a clean sheet even before an inquiry in this?
See, judiciary is for all. The BJP can always go to the judiciary and ask for the forensic tape and whatever it is. We don't deny anything as such, and we will not prevent them doing this because that's the right and democracy right of the country. And Bengal and our Mukhyamantri is the epitome of, preventing democracy.
Okay.
Also in these days. Even the election card which is there today, which is every citizen's right, has been advocated and propagated and agitated and protested for by Mamata Banerjee. So how everybody has got the right to pass it. So we're not worried about it. Let BJP talk whatever they want to go. They can go to the Election Commission, they can go to the High Court, they can also go to the Supreme Court. But the truth shall prevail, and let the judiciary take its own course.
Sure. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jaiswal, at this moment and presenting the side of your party on this. Saurabh, my colleague, joins us. Saurabh, another controversy ahead of the bypolls of the Assembly in West Bengal. Now it's ball once again in the Election Commission's court, but for the TMC, every time the Election Commission possibly would act, they will call it vindictive, isn't it? All right, I think we are experiencing some audio difficulties there with Saurabh. We'll try and reconnect with him and get you more details on the story, developing story in West Bengal. Thank you so much at this moment to Saurabh as well. Moving on now, the Delhi High Court has summoned the Delhi Finance Secretary in the deaths at the shelter home in the national capital. The Finance Secretary is expected to appear shortly. The High Court has said what proof will be found after 8 months in this investigation. The High Court has also rapped the Delhi Finance Secretary for non-compliance and had questioned the delay in registering the FIR. Tanushka, my colleague, joins us with more details at this moment. Tanushka, while the Finance Secretary will face the Supreme Court's question, but give our viewers just a brief about what this case was and why is the High Court so angry as far as the government of Delhi is concerned?
Well,
Well, this is with respect to, of course, the death of the 14 inmates that had happened at the shelter home in the national capital in August, in the month of August. There was major hue and cry about the services as well as the situation in which this health shelter was operating out of. Most of these inmates were mental health patients, and they died of tuberculosis as well. So the facilities at the shelter home are under the scanner, and what the Delhi High Court has summoned the Delhi Government Finance Secretary about is the non-commissioning of funds. With respect to that, the Delhi Finance Secretary is supposed to be produced via video conferencing at the court, and given his responses at 2 p.m. around this afternoon, and that will shortly happen in a while. We know that it's already 2 in the afternoon, but the Delhi Finance Secretary will be produced via video conferencing. What we also know is that the court has clearly said that it is irked by the lack of coordination between all of these authorities, and has clearly asked that why is it that the FIR in this case has been filed after 8 months. The court clearly says that after 8 months no evidence will be found, not even the blood stains at the shelter home will be found. So therefore it makes no sense that that there's been such a delay in the FIR of this case.
Tanushka, while this High Court is questioning the, Finance Secretary, the government of Delhi, at this moment, what is the explanation from the Delhi government side?
We're yet to hear any explanation from the Delhi government side on this as of now. With respect to this recent development, we're yet to hear from the Delhi government. We'll only know after the hearing has proceeded and after the Delhi Finance Secretary has given his responses in the court.
Thank you so much, Tanushka, for joining us with all those details at this moment. In fact, moving on and staying with the national capital, there is, I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen, politics over the discoms in the national capital intensifies, with the BJP delegation meeting the Lieutenant Governor. They will also submit a memorandum demanding inquiry in this matter. Ishika joins us with more details on this story. Ishika, what is the cause this time of this confrontation, and what is the memorandum that the BJP wants to in fact submit?
Well, Ankit, if you look at the allegations that the BJP is currently making regarding the power discoms, they say that there are 3 power discoms that basically supply electricity to all here in the national capital. Now, all 3 of these discoms, they in fact sell electricity at the same rate. They in fact, buy their supplies from the same source. Yet there is one company only, which registers profit, which pays dividend to the government, while the other 2 discoms, in fact, they show loss. Now, here the BJP, in fact, alleges that there are, in fact, irregularities, with these power discoms, and how, in fact, the Aam Aadmi Party is conspiring. The Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government is conspiring with these power discoms. Now, what will be the effect of this on the consumers here? Well, the long-term, effect is definitely going to be that the Delhi government will have to, revise the tariff rates. So that is going to be another burden on the consumers. Now, let me show you that right now, in fact, we are showing you the visuals currently, live visuals. We are showing you that the Delhi BJP delegation has, in fact, come out. They have just met the Lieutenant Governor on the issue, and we'll try to go to them. Sir, अभी आप मिलके आए हैं Lieutenant Governor से. सर, क्या डिमांड किया है?
हमारे सभी सांसद, हमारे नेता प्रतिपक्ष, हम लोगों ने माननीय उपराज्यपाल जी से डिमांड की है कि दिल्ली की बिजली कंपनियां और आम आदमी पार्टी, अरविंद केजरीवाल की भ्रष्टाचारी सरकार किस तरह से दोनों मिलकर दिल्ली की जनता को लूट रहे हैं और एक मोटी रकम किकबैक के रूप में आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं को दी जा रही है। हमने जो उनको मेमोरेंडम दिया, मैं उसका सिर्फ हेडलाइन पढ़ के सुना देता हूँ। मेमोरेंडम रिक्वेस्टिंग इन्वेस्टिगेशन बाय स्पेशल यूनिट इनटू द रोल ऑफ द अरविंद केजरीवाल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट in providing windfall gains to the private discoms in Delhi and seeking recovery of the outstanding amount of the Delhi government utilities with the डिस्कॉम्स, स्पेशली BSES। हमने ये बात पहले भी बताई थी कि 3 कंपनियां हैं दिल्ली में जो बिजली की सप्लाई करती हैं, एक ही टर्म कंडीशन पे करती हैं, एक ही जगह से बिजली लेती हैं और एक ही माध्यम से बिजली को डिलीवर करती हैं। उसके बावजूद क्या कारण है कि BSES और BPYL ये 21,000 का तो घाटा दिखाते हैं और 26,000 करोड़ रुपया इन्होंने दिल्ली सरकार की 2 कंपनियां प्रगति पावर और इंद्रप्रस्थ, उनको देना है। आप बिजली ले रहे हैं लेकिन उनको पैसा नहीं दे रहे हैं। तो मोटा मोटा ये 50,000 करोड़ के लगभग का मामला है और बहुत मोटा इन दोनों कंपनियों को लाभ पहुंचाने के चक्कर में आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं ने मोटा किकबैक लिया है। जो कायदे और नियम कहते हैं कि 7 साल तक अगर डिस्कॉम्स का कुछ भी यूटिलिटी इनकी सेटल नहीं होती है तो इनका लाइसेंस रद्द होना चाहिए। आज 11वां साल है, उड़ीसा सरकार रद्द करती है लेकिन दिल्ली की आम आदमी पार्टी की भ्रष्टाचारी सरकार, अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार, इनको पालने और फलने फूलने का मौका दे रही है। तो ये हमने पूरा मेमोरेंडम LG साहब को दिया है और एक उनसे डिमांड किया है कि इसकी पूरी इंक्वायरी की जाए और ये पैसा जो डिस्कॉम्स के पास है इसकी रिकवरी की जाए।
So as you in fact heard right now, the Delhi BJP chief Virendra Sachdeva in here in fact making these big allegations that in fact the Aam Aadmi Party led Delhi government is in fact taking kickbacks and then helping these power discoms, these 2 power discoms especially, which in fact show losses. And here you just heard him also quoting the figure as well, saying that it is above 50 crores. So certainly all of these MPs, right. You can see the BJP chief also here who have just met the Lieutenant Governor. They have submitted in fact the memorandum and they say that they in fact are currently demanding an inquiry into this matter. So certainly we are showing you the live visuals here as well and in fact we'll try to go again to Virendra Sachdeva ji. In fact sir, एक बार हमें आप memorandum दिखा देंगे और बताएंगे कि क्या डिमांड कर रहे हैं।
देखिए, मैंने आपको बताया कि दिल्ली में 3 कंपनियां जो बिजली की सप्लाई करती हैं, एक कंपनी फ़ायदे में है, 2 कंपनियां घाटा दिखा रही हैं, 21,000 करोड़ का लॉस दिखा रही हैं और 26,000 करोड़ रुपए उन्होंने दिल्ली की सरकार को देना है। बिजली ले लेकिन पैसे नहीं दिए, तो मोटा मोटा ये 47,000 करोड़ या 50,000 करोड़ का घालमेल है। तो हम ये पूछना चाहते हैं, जब 6 कंपनियाँ जिनसे बिजली ली जाती है, एक कंपनी बिजली लेकर प्रोवाइड कराती है, उसके बाद वो दिल्ली की सरकार को डिविडेंड देती है, तो ये 2 कंपनियों का पैसा कहाँ जा रहा है?
तो सर कंज्यूमर्स पे भी कितना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा?
कंज्यूमर पे तो इम्पैक्ट पड़ ही रहा है। ये जो जितने टैक्सेस कंज्यूमर पे लगाए जा रहे हैं, हम बार बार कह रहे हैं कि दिल्ली में जितने भी ईमानदार कंज्यूमर हैं जो बिल पे करते हैं, 100 रुपये के ऊपर 55 रुपये टैक्स दे रहे हैं। वो टैक्स दिल्ली की सरकार इन कंपनियों का पेट भरने के लिए ले रही है। अगर वो टैक्स ना लिया जाए तो बिजली के बिल कम हो जाएंगे, दिल्ली के लोगों को रिलीफ मिल सकता है। आज हम 100 रुपये का बिल दे रहे हैं, 45 रुपये 40 रुपये हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, बाकी तो टैक्स का पैसा दे रहे हैं। तो टैक्स का पैसा अगर भ्रष्टाचार में जा रहा है, अरविंद केजरीवाल लूटने का काम कर रहे हैं, तो उसकी हमने इंक्वायरी की मांग की है।
अरविंद केजरीवाल लगातार पोल में प्रोमिसेस ये कर रहे हैं कि जो बिल है, चाहे वो वाटर बिल हो, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल हो, उनकी सरकार वापस से आएगी तो वो बिल माफ हो जाएगा।
मैं इस जमानती अरविंद केजरीवाल से एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ। आज सरकार किसकी है? तुम्हारी है। आज बिजली डिपार्टमेंट किसके पास? तुम्हारे पास है। आज पानी डिपार्टमेंट किसके पास? तुम्हारे पास है। तो सारे बिल आज माफ़ करो ना। तुम्हारे में हिम्मत है तो आज माफ़ करो। सरकार आएगी, करेंगे। ये चुनावी घोषणाएं मत करो। हिम्मत है तो आज करो, नहीं तो ये चोरी जो तुम्हारी पकड़ी है इसका जवाब दो।
So certainly here you heard Virendra Sachdeva here saying in fact that all of this is the corruption of the Aam Aadmi Party led Delhi government. Certainly allegations that are being made by the Delhi BJP chief. Over to you.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details at this moment. With that, we are slipping into a very short break. News and updates will continue here on NDTV. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
I want to thank the American people.
BRS Working President K.T. Rama Rao has demanded cancellation of tenders worth 8,888 crore rupees rewarded under the Amrut 2.0 scheme in Telangana, suspecting huge corruption. In fact, he has alleged corruption and crony capitalism. He has demanded thorough investigation by the centre into the tender process and immediate action against those involved. KTR has said, and I'm quoting him here, there cannot be a bigger example of crony capitalism, corruption and abuse of power. In fact, the Congress government in Telangana has refuted these charges of KTR and has called these allegations baseless.
Party and the leaders also met Manohar Lal Khattar over these allegations. What are these allegations based on? And you also mentioned about this company which has been allotted thousands of crores of the tender has no qualification to get such tenders. Why are you making such allegations?
Well, Rahul Gandhi keeps talking about crony capitalism and corruption and abuse of power. And that's exactly what's happening in Telangana today. The Chief Minister's brother-in-law's company, which has neither financial capabilities nor technical abilities, has been awarded a work of 1,137 crore by way of a joint venture with a large company. Now, the issue here is very straightforward. There is a conflict of interest angle, there is an office of profit angle, and most importantly, there is the crony capitalism angle. If you notice, this company with a net profit of 2.2 crore in last financial year, and the previous year it was about 3 crores. Today, apparently has suddenly magically attained the abilities to execute a work of 1,100 crore of work. So therefore, questions are being asked, and we have presented the documentary evidence to Shri Manohar Lal Khattarji. We have also shared it with you in the media conference just now. And I'm hoping that Prime Minister Modi and his cabinet and his colleagues who keep talking about how Congress has converted Telangana into an ATM will act on these evidences, will act on these complaints. Because अगर आप बात करते रहेंगे और उस पर कोई एक्शन नहीं होगा, जनता में भी आपसे विश्वास उड़ जाएगा. इसलिए मैं मोदी जी से और केंद्र सरकार से भी कहने ये आया कि तेलंगाना में जो अमृत में स्कैम हुआ, इस घोटाले का इंक्वायरी हो, एक जांच हो और पूरी तरह से फैक्ट्स क्या है लोगों के सामने आए.
No GST on talking. So KTR has no other employment now. So he must keep talking. So keep talking. Expose your own evils. The more you talk, the more people understand what you were up to. So it doesn't bother us. Close to crony capitalism, my God, you should have a patent on that. You were the guys. You would try to fool the people of Telangana and tell them stories about this and that and pretend that they're talking against Mr. Modi. And then they come to the centre and then support them on all the bills in Parliament. You know, this is known as speaking with a forked tongue.
Meanwhile, Union Minister G. Krishnan Reddy has lambasted Revanth Reddy government. So it's not just the opposition BRS there, but the BJP also, in fact, attacking the BRS government, alleging that the Chief Minister is using Telangana as an ATM to benefit party leaders, including Rahul Gandhi. The BJP alleges industrialists are being threatened and are forced to pay RR tax, referring to Revanth Rahul tax. Let me go across to my colleague Aishwarya Jain, who's joining us with more details on this. Aishwarya, now double attack there on the Revanth Reddy government. BRS, BJP, both in fact accusing Revanth Reddy of trying to act as, an ATM for Rahul Gandhi, something that the Prime Minister also keeps alleging.
Well, the BRS working president KTR explained that how there had been tenders which were floated in Amrut 2.0 scheme in Telangana worth rupees 8,888 crores. And out of that, more than 1,200 crores were given. A tender was given to a company which was of brother-in-law of Revanth Reddy, while Revanth Reddy is also someone who holds that particular portfolio. And this is a case of crony capitalism, a case of office of profit, according to KTR. And therefore, the reason yesterday a delegation of the BRS met Manohar Lal Khattar and demanded that there should be a probe that should take place as far as the entire scam is concerned, the floating of tenders is concerned. And it is, of course, the BRS leader who had targeted just not the Congress party, the Congress government in Telangana, but also questioned the Bharatiya Janata Party that why not the BJP is taking action against the Congress government, why not there has been an investigation that had taken place so far by the central government in these allegations that he had put forward. In fact, several documents were also shared with the media which showcases that how there has been these tenders which were given to Revanth Reddy. Now, of course, Prime Minister has been alleging that it is the ATM for the Congress party as far as Telangana is concerned. They take out money from the Telangana state and use that as a political campaigning in Maharashtra and others. While KTR also stated that it is just not the Congress party that he is attacking, he is also questioning both the Bharatiya Janata Party, but both the political parties, they fight in other states against each other. But he said that it is Ajab Prem ki Gazab Kahani which is happening in the state of Telangana as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress is concerned, because few days back, just 5 days back, there has been a raid that had conducted by the Enforcement Directorate at a residence of Revenue Minister in Telangana, but no word, no statement has come out as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, the ED is concerned, or the Congress is concerned as well. And therefore, the reason perhaps it is the BRS who is taking up this issue in front of the central government and coming to the national media, addressing this particular issue so that each and everyone can get aware of it. although the Congress party on their side had clearly defended it. They said that it is that BRS government, when KCR was the chief minister, several scams had taken place, and these people have no right to talk about crony capitalism, as there had been several tenders that at that point of time was also floated to the close one, to the powerful people who are associated with the KCR and KTR government as well. So yes, of course, war of words taking place, but it is the BRS who had said that they will raise this issue in the parliament and on the streets of Telangana as well.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for joining us with all those details at this moment. We are sticking to southern India, where Lokayukta raids are underway at 40 places in connection with 9 cases registered by the department in Karnataka. In fact, the raids are underway in Belgavi, Haveri, Devanagare, Kalaburgi, Mysore. The raids are being conducted in connection with 9 cases which have been registered by the Lokayukta department. Remember, the Lokayukta very active in Karnataka there, and the Lokayukta police recently also questioned the chief minister in the alleged Muda scam, and at this moment there are raids going on at 40 locations across the state. Let's get more details on this. Pratibha Raman joins us with more details. Pratibha, what are these cases? Are they anyway connected to the recent interrogation of the chief minister by the Lokayukta police? Just to clarify for our viewers.
Well, what we hear from sources is that the 2 cases are separate, even though investigated by the same agency, and that is the Lokayukta. But why does this assume significance? It's simply because we have 3 impending elections or by-elections in the state, and this also comes on a day when the chief minister is traveling to his backyard, which is Mysuru. Now, the raids that are being conducted are very close to 2 of the important constituencies. One is Shigaon, and the raid is being conducted in Hubli-Dharwad region. Remember, that is the seat where Mr. Baswaraj Bommai, former CM's son Bharat Bommai, is contesting. And the raids are also simultaneously happening at Mandya, Mysuru region, and that is also very close to the Channapatna seat, and that is also witnessing a high-profile contest between H.D. Kumaraswamy's son Nikhil Kumaraswamy and the Congress's C.P. Yogeshwar there. And that is the election that is also driven Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to halt at Mysuru. And all these raids are in connection with officials involved in the KIADB department, is what we hear, and they have been possessing assets disproportionate to their income, is an allegation that is being investigated by the Lokayukta. And it is said that the 9 cases that have been registered are also in line with the details that I have mentioned just now. More details would emerge once the raids are completed, and we would have more clarity on who are these officials and the kind of evidences that have been gathered by the Lokayukta. Back to you.
Thank you for joining us with all those details at this moment. Moving now to the political battle in Maharashtra ahead of the elections which are going to take place on 20th of November. Massive, in fact, campaign trail which we are seeing Prime Minister Narendra Modi scathing attack on the MVA. In addressing a rally, the Prime Minister said need to end Agari's loot in Maharashtra, and said Agaris means biggest players of corruption. The Prime Minister hit out at the Mahavikas Agari, also raked in the Article 370 and said Jammu and Kashmir was plagued by terror. Our government put an end to Article 370. And now Jammu and Kashmir is following Ambedkar's constitution.
यहाँ के लोग दशकों से रेल कनेक्टिविटी की मांग कर रहे थे, लेकिन कांग्रेस और अगाड़ी वालों ने कभी भी ये काम होने नहीं दिया। महाराष्ट्र का तेज विकास ये अगाड़ी वालों के बस की बात नहीं है भाई। अगाड़ी वालों ने केवल विकास पर ब्रेक लगाने में पीएचडी कर दी है। कामों को अटकाना, लटकाना और भटकाना, ये कांग्रेस वाले तो इसमें डबल पीएचडी है, एक्सपर्ट है।
Anuj, my colleague, now joins us with more details of the political campaign in Maharashtra. Anuj, the Prime Minister, in fact, once again raising the corruption pitch, but the question then would be how many leaders of the Mahavikas Aghadi, those who are still in Mahavikas Aghadi, have been arrested by the BJP for corruption in the last 2.5 years that they've been in the power?
Well, that is also one of the important pointers that the Mahavikas Aghadi uses against them, especially after the, after the new entry of Ajit Pawar of, a year and a half back into Mahayuti, where the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Mahayuti's overall narrative of them wanting to take strong action against all those who were involved into any sort of corrupt activities kind of fell flat on its face, according to several senior Congress leaders and even Uddhav Thackeray faction leaders, when they took help of, the Shinde faction or Ajit Pawar faction just to come back in power. But when you look at the narrative that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is trying to set in his rally, in Jammu, which ended just recently, we can clearly see that the focus is a lot on the national issues. We can see that, there was a mention of Jammu and Kashmir for a long period of time. There was a mention of the ruckus that was created in the assembly recently over the issue of 370, and then there was the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on several occasions asked the crowd in Jammu if they want things to go back to how they were pre-2019 in Jammu and Kashmir. Besides that, we can also see that the Prime Minister was recounting on several schemes put down by the central government, mostly in the last 10 years, and very little was spoken about the Mahayuti government. Of course, when he spoke about the Mahayuti government, in passing, it was mostly towards the end, and keeping in mind where he was speaking. Of course, Jammu is the region which has been, affected by Naxalism. In recent past, we can see that is also the reason where soybean farmers also face certain issues, and he tried to address those issues by saying that allowances have been initiated by the government, and steps have been initiated and have been taken by the Mahayuti government to provide some sort of relief for the farmers across the state. But another interesting pointer that we can notice here in